Hello, and welcome to a spine-tingling evening of Mork Borg. Here before me now are four despicable pieces of human filth who are about to venture forth into what will surely be their final journey. And I am so pleased that all of you could be here to witness their glorious death, which will no doubt please the two-headed basilisks greatly. Or if nothing else, please me very, very much. I may be a two-headed basilisk, I can neither confirm nor deny. Welcome, dear friends, to the 10th episode of One Shot Sunday. And before we get underway, there is something I have to bring to all of your attention, which is sorry, had some technical problems, which is why we are late getting started tonight. And those technical issues spawned, unfortunately, from the software that I use to run my captions. So, unfortunately, this episode is not going to have functioning captions. I tried every which way to get it to work, but Zoom and the captioning software were not cooperating with each other. So, unfortunately, this will be a captionless stream. Of course, when this is uploaded to YouTube, there will be captions via YouTube that way. So if you want to catch up with it then, absolutely can. But alas, I did my best, but I just could not get it to work tonight. So this will be a captionless stream. I'm so very, very sorry. I always do my best to have them. That's something I worked on getting to work, but there was, looks like a slew of updates, and all of those updates hated each other, it seems like, so everything just was broken. Alas, broken like these bodies soon shall be. So, tonight we are playing a game I have wanted to play for so long. It's been sitting on my shelf taunting me for like 3 months now. I could hear it speak, and sometimes I can hear it speak in my sleep. And then sometimes when I'm waking, I can actually hear it whisper dark rituals into my ears, calling to me, threatening me, really, I think would be appropriate, that unless I played it, it would surely exact terrible revenge upon me. And now, here we are, ready to finally play it. This game is Mork Borg, a game by, I hope I don't butcher your name, my friend, but Pell Nielsen and Johan Noor, a fantastic RPG, I would call it black metal themed RPG is the closest way I would describe it. Absolutely, light on rules and heavy on everything else as it goes. It is dark, it is heavy, it is brutal, it is extremely violent, and all of these things are by design. So that, of course, is a content warning for all of you out there. This is probably going to be one of the more violent streams. There will be blood, there will be gore, there will be spiked flails to the face, and there will be, the blaring metal music playing in your mind, which I don't know about you, I can't shut mine off, so it's pretty much always there. This is going to be a really, really dark, heavy, it's a Cannibal Corpse album made into a game. So go into it with that in mind. You can find the link to the website for Mork Borg right there. Pope is just helpful enough to put it in the chat, so you can check it out if you're interested. It is a small little book. It's only a little over 100 pages, I believe, maybe even not that. Thin little tome, but it's an absolute labor of love. The artwork in it is just some of the most beautiful I've ever seen in a game. There's just the layout and design of this book is just absolutely gorgeous, and you can, I believe it was Matt, I said that it just seems like the earnestness of the project, the commitment to the bit of this book is second to none. It's like reading a metal fanzine. It's beautiful, and I highly recommend you get it. So let us get underway first by introducing our players for the evening, and of course their characters as well. So let us go around, and whoever speaks first is the first to die. That's the first rule we're going to make. So who wants to speak first, and let us know who you are and who you are playing tonight? No takers?
I'm playing Goesig. He is a royal who's never should have lost his empire. This is such a problem. All I have left is this fool and my family sword. Um, and otherwise, um, I'm Flounder and I'm playing Goesig.
All right, Flounder. You will die first. It is written in the stars. All right, let us go then to Matt.
Hey everybody, Matt, the Killer GM here. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Brindt Bloodtongue, an exalted gambler. I may have made a deal with the Gnarl to clear out some debts. It's fine. Nothing bad will ever happen, I promise. This is a wonderful world. Really, truly. Brindt also uses he, him pronouns, and will probably die in a terrible, messy way at some point.
That's the idea, yeah. Let us pop over to Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. So, I heard there was metal. I heard there was going to be blood, death, maybe vengeance. So, I had to be here. I'm going to play Aevir. Um, he's a very animated soul, and he comes with a friend. But you'll have to wait to meet them. See you soon.
And last and certainly not least, Anna.
Hello, I'm Anna at Numeria941. I was born late on a cold winter's night in February, and I have been screaming ever since. And today, I'm going to be playing Gertie, the hurdy-gurdy-lurdy, who has stolen a musical instrument that she uses to hurt people and take away their happiness. And that's what I'll be doing, I hope, until I die, in glory or ignominy.
Or lose your voice. That's the other very potential option.
That is the only one I will not accept.
She should have been carved from felt.
From felt? You lost me there.
I'm saying she's a Muppet.
I see. Okay, she is sort of Henson-esque in the most terrifying way, yes. All right, well, I think I heard Matt say this is a good world. It's not. The world that all of you inhabit is dark, oppressive, and terrible. The world of Morkborg consists of a single continent surrounded by an endless ocean. This continent is split into a few petty kingdoms, ruled by monarchs of varying levels, shall we say, of competence and also brutality. However, none is more feared than the Shadow King, who rules from his castle high above a graveyard that stretches for acres upon acres. The Shadow King's palace is an infamous place of dread. It is a Gothic black castle. It is in fact a mirror to the cathedral of the two-headed basilisks in the city of Galgenbeck, the greatest city that ever was or ever will be. Most of the palace lies in crumbling ruins, home to unfortunate souls sheltering beneath its broken halls. None dare dream what must lie under the rubble, covering catacombs and cellars. Tunnels sprawl beneath like writhing roots, digging deeper into the cold earth like cancerous veins. The inner wing still stands, acting as the home of the Shadow King himself, a being obscured by ritual. The slaves of the servants of the courtiers of the king come forth and do his will. The title of Shadow King is hereditary. Sons are always born to the Shadow King. It's whispered that princes of that line disguise themselves as ordinary men, wandering the ruins, engaging in games and tricking travelers, multiplying the miseries of the king's subjects. And it just so happens that one such shadow prince will be the subject of this miserable expedition of ours this evening. But more to that in a moment. For the time being, we need to introduce properly the wretched souls that will be forfeited this evening. You see, the four of you, Goesig, Aevir, Brindt, Gertie, you are all bound for death. We are all, of course, born bound for death. But the four of you, well, I suppose you could say you just have to think about it a bit more than most people, because your death is to come at first light tomorrow. The sun never truly rises in the realm of the Shadow King. It drags across the sky begrudgingly, wishing not to shed a single ray upon the wretched earth. Telling night from day is difficult, to say the least. But you are certain, all of you, that you will know the dawn this day, for this dawn brings your death. All four of you have been sentenced to die by the Shadow King himself. The method of your execution is to be determined by the Shadow King's whimsy on the morning. He has many methods, decapitation being the most humane. But he has been known to employ others. Burning at the stake, impalement, insect infestation. That should not excite you. As I said, none would dare dream what lies beneath the Shadow King's castle, but you four unfortunate souls have the misfortune of knowing exactly what lies beneath the Shadow King's castle, for that is where you have been dragged, you have been beaten, you have been tortured, and you have been chained. As you sit in a dungeon now, the four of you. A long room. Not a single light shining. Not a single window offering you a solace of fresh air. The stones run. Wet. Moist. Moss grows and lichens. Every so often you feel dripping down your faces. Not cold dew, but something warm. No doubt, blood pooling down through the floorboards above you. Most of the Shadow King's palace is little more than an abattoir, and this place is no different. All four of you sit now in the dark. Your hands are manacled to the walls behind you. You have not felt comfort or warmth since a time you cannot recall. And soon, though you know not the hour, as no light shines down here, you will be dragged away for your execution. And so I have a question for each of you. And I'd like to start with Brindt. Brindt, for what reason are you sentenced to die?
Well, I was playing the card game, you see, with some members of the Shadow King's court. And this one bastard said I was cheating, that I had played a card that I wasn't supposed to be able to play, and I told him I did, and that's when I cut his tongue out. And they took exception to that.
I cannot imagine why. Some people have no sense of humor.
No, none at all.
Brindt, what would you think would be a fitting method of execution for your crime?
I believe that they said that I was to be drowned in coins for my greed.
That would be poetic. The Shadow King is known for his love of poetry and dramatic irony. That would be fitting.
Yeesh.
Brindt,
I can think of worse ways to go.
as you sit on the cold stone floor of the dungeon, you hear to your right a female voice that occasionally breaks into song. You have not seen this face, as you've not seen anything in your time down here. Even the Shadow King's guards, when they come to take you away for another afternoon of torture, they seem to be able to see in the dark. They have no need for torches or any artificial light source. You do not know the faces around you, but you know the voice. This grating, wretched voice. Voice that belongs to Gertie. Gertie, for what reason have you been sentenced to die?
Well, I may have dropped some poison down a well and poisoned an entire village on more than one occasion. And in addition to poisoning the well, I definitely poisoned all the food. And then when Benjamin died, I used his grave as a toilet.
Gertie, I have many questions,
Yes?
but let me start with, who is Benjamin?
Benjamin was the little boy who was the son of the town horseshoer.
And you shit in his grave.
And I peed.
Oh, good. Gertie, for those heinous crimes, what do you think would be a fitting method of execution for you?
I really do like the sound of death by bug infestation because I like to eat bugs a lot. So if I'm going to die, I would like to at least have a delicious last meal. Crunchy.
You've made a very good case for why that will not be your method of execution. Hate to bring you down. Gertie, what are you doing as you sit chained to this wall? Besides singing.
Trying to see if there is any moss within teeth reach to eat off of the walls because I'm hungry and there are no bugs.
As you crane your neck to lick at this disgusting stone, dragging your tongue along the rocks, hoping to feel the soft touch of moss, you do feel a bit of moss. And a bit of that warm, metallic taste as well. And your forehead bumps right into someone who you had no idea was chained quite so close to you this whole time as you sit in the darkness. Aevir. Aevir. For what purpose have you been sentenced to death?
Honestly, I was doing everyone a favor. Bailiff was a right torturous git. And so I bludgeoned him to death.
With what,
And
might
then
I
when
ask?
he finally died, well, you have to, send him off proper. So me and Bonathan made certain that every single fucking bone in his body was good and crushed.
With what
And-
instrument did you bludgeon him?
Well, the first thing that, knocked him off was a mace. And then, well, Bonathan wanted to get his licks in, and so he got used.
I see. Bonathan is a friend of yours, is he?
Yes. He never leaves my side, even in the torture sessions.
That's very sweet, I suppose. You feel Gertie's... you feel the touch of Gertie's hair upon your shoulder. And then, as she licks the wall, the moist tip of her tongue, right near your neck.
Excuse me, I'm using that.
If you're using it, why is it still growing on the wall? Wasting valuable time. You could cut it off in the hour of its bloom.
Are you referring to the moss on my neck?
No. The moss. Sorry, just go a little to the left. This time.
As you...
Noted.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, just noted. Noted.
As you lick at the walls and Aevir's neck, another doomed soul sits just to the right of Aevir, his hands chained above his head. Position that they have been kept in for some time, by design of the Shadow King's torturers. Goesig, why have you been sentenced to death? That's an inopportune moment for me to have apparently lost Flounder, it seems.
I tried to steal it back.
Ah,
Oh no, am I back? Yes.
now you are. Yeah, I missed everything you said.
Okay. Yeah. Well, once I lost everything, title, land, my people, I tried to steal it back from the Shadow King's vaults and his whatnot. Had to kill many people along the way. Yeah. They were serfs, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
And then at my trial, I spoke ill of the magistrate, the constabulary, the Shadow King's family,
Oof.
everyone. Yeah.
Oh.
So now I'm here. Only thing I can almost see is my stupid jester across from me. Right there.
Ah, yes. Cannot see him, but you can smell.
I know he's there.
You can smell him.
He's always there.
Always. Forever.
What smells like dirty game hen?
Maybe we should eat him. Wriggle my shackles. Not yet. Pull true, not yet.
For my benefit, to be clear, is Aevir your jester?
No,
Oh,
I have
I
a
see.
jester named Poltroon.
Oh, Poltron.
Mm-hmm. He somehow survived everything.
Ah, yes. Yes, you can sense his presence here, and you know, even now you are not alone, even though perhaps you would prefer to be at this wretched hour. Time passes. How long? It's impossible to say. Days, weeks, months, hours. Time means nothing in the darkness. You know that you hear, occasionally, the door open to the cell. A scuffle as someone is led away. And then you hear screams from above you. They do not return. Most of the time. And sometimes they do. Beaten, broken. Though you cannot see them, you can feel the warm blood radiating. You can smell the viscera. You smell as the wounds turn gangrenous over time. Until at last they succumb either to the headsman's axe or to disease, pestilence. Soon it will be your time. But it just so happens, for once in all of your wretched lives... Oh, I'm so sorry, Flounder. I forgot to ask how you were going to be executed. What would be a fitting method of execution for you?
Well, my understanding is that I'm going to be drawn, quartered, and then continue to be quartered until I can be given as food to the common folk.
An act of charity from the Shadow King. Food for his peasants. Shame it has to be meat as disgusting as yours, but this is, of course, a land of the dead, rising above GRAVENTOSK, the great cemetery. These people will take what they can get. You will be a fitting sacrifice, Goesig. On this occasion, though, as it happens for once in all of your wretched lives, the twin-headed basilisks, your gods, have granted you a reprieve. It is morning, afternoon, evening, night, who can say, when the door to your cell opens. You hear the creaking iron hinges as heeled boots walk across the cobblestones. None of you have eaten in Lord knows how long. You are weak. You do not find it in yourself to put up even a modicum of resistance as you feel the manacles around your wrists opened, and you are pulled to your feet, marched out of the cell, down a hall, still in complete inky darkness. Again, those guards of the Shadow King somehow just know where they're going. They drag you down the halls, your feet scraping along the stones, carry you up several flights of stairs that wind and wind upward, until you are brought into a room that, well, it feels like a room unlike you've ever seen before, for it has been so long since you have seen sunlight. It burns your eyes. You can feel your corneas bubbling from the searing heat. As you are seated on rough wooden chairs where you are reshackled. The room is cathedral-like with a high vaulted ceiling, dark stained glass windows. A sort of dust floats in the air, and the bit of rays of sunlight capture it, making a radiant spiderweb pattern in the air around you. Some time passes before the heavy wooden door creaks open, and a man enters. He pulls up a chair and sits in front of all of you. He stares at you, considering each of you a good long while, seemingly sizing you up, testing you each with his eyes, before at last he speaks. Do you know who I am?
No.
Somebody with a very weird sense of what the Knight of Leisure looks like.
I admire the four of you. You have maintained a sense of humor, even under your circumstances. That is impressive. You are strong of spirit. So you don't know who I am. Well, good. It is not the place of your folk to interact with people of my station. I am the court seer. I am the lieutenant to the Shadow King himself. His most trusted advisor. And the four of you have been granted a blessing from the basilisks. You may all go free. If you can do something for me. I gather that the four of you have an appetite for blood. Do you not?
It is pretty good.
Hey, who told you about that? Who you been talking to? I don't need no blood from nobody.
You took me quite literally, and that is telling. But just what I'm looking for. You are... And he looks down at a scroll. His hands come from beneath his robes, that he looks down at a scroll, and... You are Aevir, yes?
Yeah? What about it?
How many men have you killed, Aevir?
Man, 2. Gets 20.
And have you ever claimed the life or unlife of a beast, a being that walks this plane beyond its natural life, the undead?
I tend to avoid the creepy bits.
You'll find it's not so different. They can be bludgeoned all the same. Aim for the head.
Okay. Jonathan, are you taking notes? Because my hand's kind of tight right now.
Notes will not be necessary. And also, who are you talking to?
Jonathan. I mean, he's still in my hand. They haven't taken him away. I wouldn't let them. Can't be parted, you see.
I see. Ah, yes, I believe you will do well. And you, Gertie? The small one, yes. How many have you killed?
See, technically, none of them. They all ingested the poison of their own free will. I just put it out there for them, and then they ate it, and then they died. So, 0?
I don't think the law sees it that way, Gertie.
But you asked me, not the law. So 0.
A poisoner. That is disappointing, but could be useful. If you have the element of surprise. Good. And Brindt, is it? How many lives have you taken?
Well, it depends. Are we talking any specific kinds, or just whoever just happened to get in the way at a given time? Because that number is different.
The sum total will do.
I don't know what the sum total is, but I think I've killed about 3, 5 people. But, you know, they all had it coming. I promise. He swears to the basilisk.
You do not need to make your apologies or recriminations to me, Brindt. It will not save you. The only thing that will save you is doing as I ask. And, yes. The deposed nobleman himself, Goesig. You
Yeah.
were once a member of this court, were you not?
Yeah, East Wing.
And how many have you taken, Goesig?
Personally, I mean, you know, I usually have other people do it, but it was about 8. I don't remember how many people were on guard duty that night, and I came in. I think a couple rooms down from here, actually. I think
Yes.
it was 8 people on duty.
Yes, the Shadow King was most displeased with your crime, as was I, but
They're my things.
it did show initiative. Truly going for what you want. That is impressive. You are strong of character, if weak of mind. You had a jester with you, didn't you, Goesig?
I did. Yes.
He still rots in the dungeon. Would you have me release him?
No, that'd be fine if you just left him there. But knowing you, you're probably just gonna give him to me to torture me more.
I will call for him before your departure.
Yeah, they say you're the seer.
I am. And I have seen something that troubles me very much. The Shadow King's heir, the Shadow Prince, Prince Alden. He has gone missing, gone astray. It's difficult to say. But I have seen where he is. If Alden is not returned, the Shadow King will have to, unfortunately, will his kingdom to his idiot brother, and we can't have that. We need Alden brought back. Shadow King does not wish to spare any of his proper forces for this task. It is beneath them, but the 4 of you should do fine. I need you all to travel to an underground locale, a place that no free man would ever willingly go, a place called the Accursed Den. It is an ancient underground keep. I have seen what lies there. It is unlike anything that dwells above the surface. But I believe you all have the strength of character to venture there, find Alden, and come back alive. And if you don't, you will all be struck dead.
So what if this Alden character's already dead?
That would be a pity. Return his body, if nothing else.
Okay.
And about this thing that lies there, can you tell us anything about it? Like squishy bits we can beat up on.
Matt, roll a d8 if you've got one nearby.
I've got one somewhere. Just gotta get to the right place. 7.
7. I have seen Alden in my visions. He is... He seems to be taken with his captors. I fear he will not leave willingly. His mind has been corrupted by a warlock of sorts. I believe a warlock barbarian calling himself Fletcher. He has worked the mind of Alden. You may need to drag him from the dungeon.
Being a warlock and a barbarian, that's a lot of stuff to have on one's plate.
Are there any other questions about this task of yours? I can tell you what I have seen. Yes, Gertie.
Yes, well, you have seen, how will we know which one is Prince Alden? What does he look like?
Alden,
Does he have eyes missing?
he does not, no.
Does he have all his teeth?
Yes, unlike you. I believe you'll be able to tell a noble from gutter-born scum such as yourself. Even you can discern that.
It's true. And, this Fletcher, would you consider him a happy person?
I'm afraid I don't know Fletcher well enough to say, but I doubt it. He does live in a subterranean dungeon, inhabited by all manner of horrors. I don't think I'd be happy.
Shame. My skills are more effective on the happy than the unhappy.
I wish you all the best with your skills, Gertie.
Just to be clear, only Alden has to return. Correct?
That's right.
No one else matters. We can just
Oh,
do what needs to be done.
whatever lies in that pit doesn't deserve to live anyway. Do whatever you like. Simple as that. Do we have a deal?
Do we get our stuff back?
I'm going to need a few things.
You do.
I'd like all my stuff back. All of it. And the title.
The bargain is for your life, Goesigs. But you may have the equipment that you need for such a journey. Deal?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not as if we have much choice. Though, honestly,
Yeah.
being drowned in silver did sound like a more positive outcome to my life.
If you still,
Deal, I would not be comfortable around so much money.
if you'd still like to die, Brindt, we can of course arrange that, but this is your chance at absolution.
No, that's fine. We'll go with this. It's a chance, and I'll take any chance. It's a habitat of profession, you see.
Very good. Well, I believe our business is concluded then. The guards will show you out, and return to you your possessions before you make the quest. The Accursed Den lies deep within GRAVENTOSK, the great graveyard. Do try not to get lost. It tends to feel very circuitous there. Every gravestone looks like every other. But I will provide you with a rudimentary map. I believe you should be able to find it.
Of course.
Anything else?
Seems amenable. Guess we need to get on with it if we're going to, get on with it.
The sooner we get our things, the sooner we can bring back whoever the prince was.
Prince Alden, yes.
Yeah, sure, him.
Very good. Oh, I have seen a recurrent vision. You may wish to bring something to cover your breathing. I believe there may be noxious gases in this dungeon. They tend to infect
Yeah.
the mind.
If you have any clothes or such that we can be granted by your beneficence, that would be nice.
We'll provide something. Very well. I will be off, and the guards will release you shortly. Good luck.
Certainly.
The seer stands, exits the room, leaves you waiting a while longer before these guards that you now can see in the full of daylight are clad in this dark iron armor and have these fanged teeth that hang out from the slit, their whole jaw exposed. These fanged creatures, human, you can't even say for certain. They unlock your manacles, raise you to your feet, and bring you outside. A portcullis raises. You are brought outside the Shadow King's palace. They toss at your feet your belongings and a few rations to replenish your obviously withered strength. They exit back into the portcullis, drop it, and leave you on your way.
You're just tossing these things. There's glass in here. You know that, right? Yeah.
Those are armored gates, not men. Gates don't take orders. Gates don't listen. All they're good for is dying.
Shoot in this day.
But, hey, look on the bright side. We get to go for a walk. We get to, get some fresh air. We get to see someplace new. It's all good. Isn't that right, Bonafide? We are going for walkies, aren't we? Yes, we are.
The GRAVENTOSK is nowhere new to me.
Nor is it due to myself and Maggot, with whom I am very happy to be reunited.
And you see Gertie just like very gross, like slime covered hands petting a very emaciated donkey that is attached to an empty wheelbarrow that reeks of rotting corpses, despite the fact that it's been empty for as long as she's been in the dungeon.
It's like
Charming.
emaciated donkey.
Mm-hmm.
This one is called Maggot. We have made many trips into the graveyards where fresh meat is buried. Look for bugs. Look for food.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Maggot. Say hello, Bonafide. Say hello to Maggot. There you go. Yeah, we're going to be fast friends.
That thing going to be strong enough to pull all of us? Or are we still going to have to
Oh,
walk?
bloody no. Walking's good for you, mate.
Yes,
Especially
this
since
is
you've been
Oh,
sitting.
lordy da, look at his lordship wanting to get drawn along by the donkey.
no. This is for a prince to ride it. Not for mere nobles or commoners. This is the finest palanquin for a prince. When we find him, he will ride in it with us back to the castle.
Considering the state we're likely to find him in, it's probably the best ride for him.
Let me just all that now. I'm just going to expect his Highness's conveyance. Just go look to see if there's a good place to tie the guy down.
I mean, it is a wheelbarrow. I guess the only other thing that you would notice about it is that inside of the wheelbarrow are 3 very small monkeys with long tails that are fighting over what looks like a chicken bone. You think it's a chicken bone at the bottom of the wagon.
That all seems fair. Going to have to tie him off to the arms of the thing. Should be fine if we stick a weight towards his feet. All good.
Yeah, should be fine. If I remember which son this is, he's not that big. He'll fit in the barrow just fine.
Delightful. Now we just need to get like a couple of bricks or maybe a small anvil and some chain, and we can just tie him good and secure. Make sure he doesn't, hurt himself on the way back.
We'll just pull a gravestone up or something. There's vines in places.
No.
We'll make it work.
We don't desecrate anything, mate. That's no good.
You hear the rattling of chains as Brindt rummages through his bag, and then he pulls out a giant rusty bear trap. Or we can use this.
Yes. If kneecaps are removed, he will not go away very quickly. We will be able to catch him.
He will still be alive, which is all they asked about.
Mm-hmm.
They did not say the state in which he was to be delivered. And they say a corpse was perfectly fine. So, ergo, we're in the clear. All right. Now then, let's get a move on.
You hear again the rattling of chains as the portcullis raises for a moment, and the guards, 4 of them, holding a limb each, rock and toss out a man who lands at Goesig's feet. He is dressed in the putrid clothes of a court jester. Every inch of his rotting, torn fabric is covered in blood, excrement, other fluids you don't even wish to identify. He picks his head up, squinting in the sunlight, and says, Master Goesig, my lord, I have been granted a reprieve.
Yeah, it's great, Pauldron. Just great. You follow Bonathan there, and
Which one is Bonathan, sir?
you'll figure it out. And I just push him towards Aevir.
Hello, Pauldron. This is Bonathan. Bonathan Pauldron. Pauldron.
You know,
Bonathan.
I know a tree in the GRAVENTOSK. Nobody would ever find him.
Are you talking
I'll
about
take you up on that offer.
me, sir?
Pauldron, we're not speaking to you.
Yes, sir.
I may take you up on an offer, Brindt. That sounds very good.
It might stave off my own pending payments. Fantastic.
Oh, well, we can talk about finances on the way.
You'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now then, to the GRAVENTOSK, yeah?
Ah,
Hooray!
it's a cheery
Alright.
day for a walk.
Call it a day.
Yes, sir. I sure would love to stretch my legs. They've been bound in this uncomfortable position for so very long. This is a welcome change. Some sunlight, a bit of sunlight, and, even a wheelbarrow. Might I ride upon the wheelbarrow?
No,
Yes, sir.
no.
Yes, understood, sir. Yes.
Pauldron, just go a little bit ahead. Make sure it's just scout ahead. We'll just...
Yes, sir. Poltroon.
You may take these monkeys with you if you like.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
Take-
listen to anything I say, though.
You can take Cersei here. They only the monkey that stayed alive of our batch.
Do you all have monkeys for some reason?
I have one.
Yes,
one.
I rolled 3 monkeys that follow me around but ignore everything I say as part of my starting gear.
Mhm. I have one monkey
Along
that
with
ignores
horse,
me
sparrow,
totally
and
loves me.
donkey.
That is the weirdest. I love it.
We're
So-
making it work.
We have 4 monkeys, 1 jester. What I'm hearing is we are properly outfitted to find every single trap in a single hallway.
Yes, yes.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Use monkeys
Very
as
much
trap
so,
bait.
actually. No, wait, Pauldron's... Let him go first. It'll be fine.
Yes, sir.
Use pauldron as trap bait. Use monkeys as backup bait.
No.
Yeah.
We use the monkeys to retrieve the jester, so the jester can get healed up ever so slightly, so he can make the run again.
It's a good
Pauldron, don't
use.
listen to any of this.
Shutting my ears, sir. Yes, shutting me ears. All right.
This all sounds perfect.
Poltroon,
My
takes,
leg-
Monkey-based
you might
retrieval
know.
systems.
Poltroon takes the lead, and you walk north out of the castle in the direction of GRAVENTOSK. GRAVENTOSK is a cemetery the size of some of our world's largest cities. It is simply rows upon rows of graves, mausoleums, obelisks, all shapes and sizes, statues, that stretch on just for acres and acres upon these ashen hills. Just to the north of GRAVENTOSK lies the great forest of Sarkash, the massive, oppressive wood that takes up the entire northern half of the continent. As you journey through GRAVENTOSK according to this rudimentary map that the seer has provided for you. Why you be like this? Okay, we're back.
And it looks like it's back.
Yep. Yep, we good. This room is dimly lit by torches. A small stream of water runs through the center of it. It's not very large, but ahead of you, you can see that there are dancing in little rays of sunlight from above these violet butterflies, blue and purple, that dance in little rays of sunlight above this stream of water. Beyond that small stream lies two doors, one on the left, one on the right.
Butterflies this insect. I want to catch it and eat.
All right. You're going to try to catch a butterfly?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Make a D12 agility test.
18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll let you catch two of them with that. Do you wish to eat them immediately or save them for later?
I will take one of them and say, "Thank you very much for being pretty tasty."
And then immediately crunch down on it.
And then the other one, I will squish it so its suffering is not prolonged and keep it in my pocket for later, when I need a snack.
You crunch down on that butterfly, and though you're feeling good right now, you feel like that would have been rejuvenating under different circumstances.
Oh.
But not now. The air down here is very, very stale and heavy. This water running through here seems to be adding this humidity to the air, and it's oppressive. It's like walking through a fucking force field, just getting from one side of the room to the other. But there stands, on the left, a heavy wooden door, and on the right, a heavy wooden door, both of a dark black wood with big metal handles.
No other markings on them?
Let's see. Roll presence. Do a DR12 presence.
Presence, you say? That's
Presence.
That's Brindt's speciality. However, with a 7, I don't think it's going to be very special.
Not good enough. They both have scratches on them, but they don't seem to be any words or indication markings of what lies beyond one as opposed to the other.
Yeah. Brindt points towards the left one. That one's the right way.
I tell Poltroon, I'm disappointed with you not finding the hold I got into this room. There's light coming in, Poltroon. There's a way into this room from the outside. What is wrong with you? Go open that left door.
Yes, I would only add that there is light coming in, but that crack is much too small for Poltroon to fit through, sir.
That door's not open yet, is it?
No, sir. No, it's not. No. He runs ahead and opens the door, and as the door creaks open, you hear faint violin music coming from somewhere deep inside.
Ooh.
A slow, mournful aria.
That's a thing. Oh, yeah, of course. That's the thing. Yes, right. We should proceed with caution.
As you
They mentioned that the warlock barbarian fellow was a music lover. You think they were? You think they were like poor as I am when doing the briefing thing? No.
Seers are notoriously unreliable people.
They also don't really care about the fine details. They never care about you as a person.
I don't care if they care about me as a person. You think you know, with the title of seer, there'd be, thorough.
You see, he saw, he didn't hear, because that's not his job to hear.
And many
Gotcha.
find the whining of catgut a frivolous pursuit.
Under the right circumstances, it can be pleasant-ish.
Well, to each their own. I'm going to at least enjoy myself.
As you enter into this room, there is a large wooden oaken table with 20 chairs set around it with mugs, plates, and spoons, but no food or drink of any kind. There are 4 gigantic oil lamps that dot the 4 corners of this room. Although the wall to your right is slightly slanted, not entirely straight. At the north end, which to your eyes coming through here would be the top left corner of the room, is another heavy door. And at the top right corner of the room is another door. But what really attracts your eye is not the doors, nor the lamps, nor the table devoid of any food, but a man who sits at the far end of the table. He is old, very old. He wears a hooded robe with a large white beard that hangs down below. You see occasional insects crawl through his beard. His skin is ashen gray, his eyes are dark. He's dressed in this dusty old hooded cloak. And as you enter, he does not seem to take any notice of you whatsoever. Simply sits there in silence.
Obviously, he's in meditation, enjoying the music. Best not disturb him.
Sim Matt. And you see like a couple bugs scuttle through Brint's hair.
She's just sort of like slowly tiptoeing towards the beard that has bugs in it with a hand outstretched.
You know, I feel like I should stop her, but she really brought this on herself.
Aha! I'm gonna grab for some bugs.
From Brindt?
From his beard.
Or from the old
from
man's beard?
the old man's beard, yes. It says I am an inveterate bug eater, so...
You do not even have to roll for this. You reach into his beard and come away with like a fistful of beetles.
Yum.
And not only does he not give a shit about the fact that there are an incredible amount of bugs crawling in his beard, he pays no mind to the fact that you've just done this. But you can see now, as you reach to do that, under his hood, his eyes are wide open. He's not asleep, he's not snoring. His eyes are open, and as you reach into his beard, his eyes follow you. But he makes no motion.
Is he dead?
His eyes follow you.
Well, I mean, he could be, he could have died and come back to something.
He just
Hello?
He just sits at this empty table.
Mm.
What do I do? I don't know.
I put my hand underneath his nose to see if he's still breathing.
Yeah, you can feel that moisture fog your hand.
Sir, what are you even doing here?
No reply.
Can he blink? Has he blinked at any point?
You want to try to make him blink? Like, I don't know, snap your fingers or something like that? I mean, I think you may, if you're paying close attention, then yeah, I think he does, yeah, his eyelids do occasionally blink.
Okay.
I mean, you can't tell if he's lucid, but he's conscious.
Okay, I'll say, hoping that he's able to count. Blink once for yes, twice for no. Are you here on your own volition? Did you bring yourself here?
He blinks 3 times in a row.
I slap him.
Doesn't
That's
move.
disobedience.
He doesn't move.
You all talk to him. I'm through with him.
Has the violin music stopped?
No.
Well, what-
The
and
violin
it's not
music.
coming from him?
It's not coming. Nope, and it's not coming from this room. It seems to be coming from deeper in this place.
Do you need to wake up?
Yeah, congratulations. Bet you that Warlock Barbarian fella probably knows we're here now.
You do see that, like I said, this table is surrounded with 20 chairs. The ones nearest him are pulled back as if someone had been sitting there, but there's now presently no one there.
There's cups on the table, right?
Cups, plates, forks, and knives, and spoons.
All right, I'm gonna take a cup. I'm gonna go back to that river. I'm gonna fill it, and I'm gonna throw water at him. Right in his face.
He takes it on the chin and doesn't seem to care.
I mean, if you're done demeaning the poor man, yeah, poor is one way of putting it, I suppose. But I think we have better things to do with our time.
So we just leave him here?
He seems perfectly content. You know, as much as a person can be.
Well, maybe. I look to him again when him dripping, and I say, peasant, there's 2 doors here opposite you. The person who was last here with you, which door did he go through? Does he look to one of the doors?
Nope. He is blank.
Yeah.
I want to do a thing that's kind of mean.
Okay.
I have
Nice
among my
place.
equipment a very sharp needle. I'd like to poke him in the hand and see if he responds.
You poke him in the hand. He flinches, but otherwise doesn't make a sound. So he's reactive to pain.
So he's definitely still alive. Maybe we should take him with us. He could be a prince. He doesn't look like me. That's all I'm going off of, really.
Is he bleeding from the
Yep.
stab wound?
He is
Okay.
bleeding red human blood.
I guess I'll tell Holtrum, pick him up. We have someone else to check on traps before you now.
I don't know if I can carry him, sir. He's quite large.
Holtrum, you can do anything you put your mind to as long as I tell you to do it.
What I'm gonna have you do is roll. I'm gonna have you roll presence again for. This is what I've been doing for you, giving Poltroon commands.
Yeah,
See if
that's
you can
fine.
do
That makes
this.
sense.
This is going to be. This guy is like bigger than Poltroon. This is gonna be
Yeah, of course he is.
DR 14 presence.
All right, let's see what we got. I got a 19.
Ooh. With no... alas, I was hoping you'd fail that.
Me too.
Poltroon backs the chair out and puts his arm under this guy's legs and puts an arm over his shoulder and hoists him up and puts him like fireman carries on his
Mhm.
shoulders. He's very heavy, sir. He's a big one.
Well, today you're earning your right to have a ration.
It's very gracious of you, sir. Thank you.
Here, you may have this butterfly as a treat.
And I will take the squashed one out of Gertie's pocket, walk over to where Poltron is, and just open his mouth and put the butterfly in like I'm inserting a coin into a laundromat.
He crunches on it. Thank you, Mom.
This will make you strong. This will make you brave and full of tasty bugs. best kind of food.
Definitely full
Secondary
of
to
bugs.
everything else.
So there is the door in the right corner and the door in the left corner. Which one do you want to go for?
What do you think, Brindt? You got us to this room.
I think. No markings still on these things, right?
You can do another presence roll to see.
Let's try. Why not?
DR12.
We're here. 21.
There you go.
Nice.
The door on the left bears no distinct marking at all. It's just a black wooden door. The door on the right does seem to indicate. Let's see. So based on that room, there is a symbol on it, a sort of rune. That is the. It's a rune indicating a sword or a weapon on that door.
That's probably an armory. This is a guard room. Left! Left sounds excellent.
So the one without the markings.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Door opens easily. And it opens into a long, dark, cold corridor. You still hear that violin music coming from somewhere deeper inside the Accursed Den. But at the end of this
Speaks
hallway,
to my soul.
at the
Is it
very
getting louder?
it does seem to be getting a bit louder. Perhaps you're getting closer. But at the far end of this hallway, there is a light. What exactly it is, you cannot see. But you also notice that the walls of this dark stone walls lit with sconces, the walls are dotted with paintings, landscapes.
Now, isn't that lovely, Bodison? Art.
Almost trying to be cultured.
Yeah, he has decent taste.
No. I'm beginning to think that this, Sia didn't really see things because this barbarian warlock seems to be, at least has some culture. Yeah, no, I'm appreciating this.
When you really get down to it, this barbarian warlock has done nothing wrong to us, unlike the Shadow King who sent us here.
Well, we'll see if he's, a decent fellow, reasonable chap. We might be able to do something. But first we have to get there.
And there's a light down at the other end, which means potentially people, potentially something.
So,
Let's send Monkey.
Well, okay, but we do have this.
yeah,
On
but he
top of-
doesn't seem all that, mobile. He's, having to be carried.
Yes, sir. Could I put him down now, sir? My back's getting sore.
Poltron, if you put him down, it's going to be harder to pick him up later.
It's a very good point, sir.
He doesn't think.
Is there anything weird or unusual about the paintings that are lining the walls, or are we just noticing they're paintings? I don't know. Are they?
They're all landscapes
Uh-huh.
of these very bleak, bland. They're almost monochrome. They're just these bleak black and white landscapes of many sizes. There are some very, very large ones, several feet across, and ones that are small, no larger than this book, really. But the walls are just festooned with them. They're all over the place.
Do
And-
they look like landscapes that exist? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I think
Landscapes that exist.
you'd recognize probably there's a landscape that has a very crude painting of the grand city of Galgenbeck. You can see the coasts of Grift and the woods of Sarkash. They do seem to be of real places within the world. Like really depressing Bob Ross paintings.
Happy
Perhaps-
little trees died in the cataclysm.
They are unhappy little trees.
Yes. Perhaps this warlock barbarian has a job on the side as someone who sells artwork to decorate the bedroom walls of inns and taverns. This is very boring.
What's that, both? His name is Rob Boss? This is a Rob Boss painting right there.
Rob Boss is bad. That gets you in trouble. Hand chopped off.
No. That's the artist's name, not an action this time. But, no. Apparently both knows him.
As you look up and down the hallway with the paintings, you see there is that light at the very, very far end of the hallway where it seems to open up. And directly to your right, like as you come through the door, directly to your right is another door right there.
Oh.
I think we should go see what the light is about.
Yeah,
Follow the light.
probably.
All right.
Like a
well,
moth to the flame.
yeah. Well, okay, Poltron. If you really want to put the man down, lead him against the door. We'll mark which door it is that we need to come back to.
So the door to your right or the door you just came through? That one. You
The
use
door
them-
to our right. I'm just gonna have him lean the guy against that. And if the door opens and he falls through, then we know, talk or anything.
You lean him against, Poltroon leans him against the door, and as the old man's head hits the wood of the door,
Mhm.
you suddenly hear furious scratching coming from the other side on the wood.
Definitely do not want to open that door. Good to know.
Scratching and moans.
Yeah, no. Let's keep that door closed. That sounds like a closed door situation. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
But what if
Wise
that is
decision. I was
where
about to say that.
Prince Alden is hiding?
I don't think that's a prince, an Alden, or anything that we want to encounter.
I think we should move this part of the tour along.
Yep, bye. Just wave to the old man as we're capering forward.
Old man just sits there, looking quite content, leaning against this door.
Mm-hmm.
You head down the hallway, taking stock of all these paintings. Many, many sizes. Massive landscapes down to these ones that are almost pocket-sized. And just whoever is the art collector here has very, very bland taste and overzealous execution, because there are just way too many of these dotting the wall. As you reach the far end of the hall, the corridor opens up wider, and you get this scent of sulfur hitting your nose. And you can hear that violin music now louder than ever. It seems to be coming through the wall to your right as you walk down that corridor. That direction generally. It is low and mournful, but getting closer. And at this time, I would like one of you, I'm going to pick at random, Matt, roll a d4.
That's fine. What's the worst I get? 3.
What's the worst I could 3? Okay. So now, Pope, roll another d4. Deuce. Okay. As you reach the far end of the corridor, you see a pump, like a rusty water pump, in the room. A muddy liquid runs from a dragon-headed tap on the pump. And standing beside the pump are 2 armor-clad guards, short swords at their sides. And as you enter, they turn. They lift the visors of their helmets, and you see those same fangs that you saw in the Shadow King's court. And they hiss and charge at you. Gertie, roll a d6, which will determine who goes first. Whether you
Okay.
guys or them.
5.
5. The players go first. 2 guards, clearly randomly hostile and ready to kill you.
I would like to sing them a song with my hurdy-gurdy, which I'll begin just starting to crank. They need to make a DR12 presence roll.
No, you need to make a DR12 presence roll.
No, they do.
That's not normally how that works.
It says, cranking this stringed thing of wood and gore emits a droning sound that hurts the ears of creatures that fail a presence test against DR12.
Normally that's
And then it
not
deals
how that
damage if they fail.
works. Okay, well, I have some dice right here.
I think this might be omnidirectional, is what this is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, does it specify? Or is it everyone nearby?
If you can hear it, you gotta make the roll.
I think this is this is why it's not they have to make the roll. This is omnidirectional.
Yes, we all have to make the roll.
Ooh, I failed.
One of them passed. They both passed.
Success.
13.
7.
So whoever fails takes 1 point of damage because I rolled the lowest possible.
Lucky you.
It's pleasant.
Ish.
Just wait. It gets worse.
Oh no.
The damage die increases by like die type every round I continue to play the thing.
Is this the one?
No.
Is this the one that also makes people sad?
I think so. Where is that?
Oh, now I'm concerned for the monkeys.
Oh yeah. Well, my monkeys actually have more health than I do. So, or my one monkey has more. Cersei has more health.
It can make them sad if I spend a use of my daily powers.
Well,
I don't
it
know
only
what
hit
that
your allies, so I don't
actually
think you
is,
want to
though.
make any of them sad.
Yeah, I was like, if it hits them, I can spend my powers to make them sad. Yes, I get to subtract a d6 from any of their future morale checks.
Oh, that's fun.
So we'll wait until they start to feel depressed, and then we'll make them really sorry.
Well, right now they seem hunky-dory and ready to murder, but it is not yet their turn, so let us go now to whoever wishes to volunteer.
Sure, we've got gates. There's
Yep.
only one solution for gates. Time to introduce them to the mace.
To the face.
Let us try. Those gathered here, let us pray. That's a 12.
That's a 12. Roll your damage.
Enjoy your 5, sir.
5. They have leather armor, so they reduce damage by a d2. So let's see.
Oh, I forgot to mention, because of Pauldron being annoying all the time, everyone has +2 to their attack rolls and defense rolls for the next 2
Oh,
rounds.
dope. Because Poltron is distracting and annoying.
So annoying.
Tell me what Poltron's doing. They reduce that damage by 1, by the way, so that is 4 damage.
He's like patting around, yelling, and trying to like give us advice. He's trying to be a moral boost.
You can do it, sir.
I like to think that he has these prepared motivational speeches that he just pulls from some pocket somewhere and just starts in that voice droningly go on. And so my good lord shall unsheath his blade and insert it into the... Excuse me, I have to turn the page. And
His court jester routine is neither music nor comedy, instrumental. He's a motivational speaker, and not a very good one at that.
No.
It's comedy for some people.
My lord shall prevail this day over these gods. And the guards are like clutching at their heads, gets so fucking annoyed. But it is in that distracting moment that that you bring down your mace upon this guard's iron-helmed head, knocking him back for a loop. And now, let us go to Brindt.
Brindt reaches into his sack and comes out with a crossbow and just unloads it into the other guard.
Nice.
With a 17 to hit.
That will do it.
Thwaka.
Boom, thwaka.
For 4 damage. And hastily begins reloading, not even looking to see if he brought the guard down.
Okay, so he has leather armor, so that is... He's going to actually reduce that by 2. So that is only going to be 2 damage for him. The crossbow bolt sticks in his arm, sticking right out of his left bicep, and he hisses at you and cracks the shaft of the arrow out, blood pouring forth onto the ground. He doesn't seem to care.
Fuck, shit, piss.
Finally, Goesig.
All right, let's do this. All right. That will be a 14.
14
So-
will hit.
Let's do some damage. Well, that's depressing. 2.
2. That will be reduced by 2. So
Yep.
tell me how this silliness looks.
I think when I go in when he's going, I'll go for the one that Brindt just shot. I'm going to go try like cutting his head while he's like focusing on his shoulder to snap the shaft, and then I just like hit him on the helmet, which then bounces off the helmet, bounces off his shoulder, and then just kind of just holding it here. I'm like, all right, well, that went fine.
The guard that you just attempted to hit, Goesig, is going to lunge at you, put his arms on your shoulders, and bite your neck.
Of course he will. Let's see if I can dodge.
But he rolled a 2.
I rolled to dodge.
Oh, right, yeah, you rolled a die. I forget how this fucking shit works. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here.
Dodge
That
check.
is a Pauldron didn't help. I missed it by 1.
Oh, you got an 11?
Actually, with my sword, I only have to get a 10.
Ah.
So, yeah.
So you did not meet
I
it,
got a
though?
9. I
You
got a
a
9.
9? Yeah. That's gonna be a d4 damage. Take 3.
Oh wait, no, I have 1 agility. No, never mind. I subtract it.
You take 3 damage as his bladed teeth sink into your flesh.
All right, I'm wearing scale mail, so I subtract a d4. Let's check 2.
All right, so you only take 1 damage.
Say again.
All right. The second one is going to go after Bryn as being the other person that actually hit him. So roll your dodge. He's going to bring his short sword down on you.
Read. Poltroon does help me out.
Yes.
The +2.
Yep. Because he's so annoying.
Indeed.
What'd you get?
Oh, that 12.
Oh,
just
12.
right on
Just
the
barely
nose.
got it.
Just made it.
All right. How do you dodge his sword?
So he brings the sword down, but at the last possible second, some inflection of Poltroon's turn turns him at the last second. Like he's going, fucking really, man? What the fuck?
Doesn't even take...
And I managed to skip out of the way, out of his range.
And you skip away as he is distracted by this absolutely terrible, terrible motivational speech from Poltroon. Okay. Back to you guys. Let's see, I think Gertie went first last time, so how about we give Brindt a chance at revenge for having just been attacked?
Yep, we'll just take the crossbow and just unload it. Thunk. And that will hit with a 12.
Nice! Roll damage.
Whoop. 7 damage this time.
So it's the same guy you just hit?
Yeah.
7 damage. Okay, he cannot survive even if I rolled a 2. So, how do you want to do this?
I imagine since like he swung with his sword, he's just kind of like hanging in the breeze at this point.
Mm.
And Brindt, having seen the fangs, just like, yeah, might as well take the shot. And he aims at the breastplate. And turns out arrows work really good against plate that's just kind of hammered straight.
True. Piercing straight. I mean, it's an aorta shot. Clean through the chest. Hits. Gushes forward with this dark black blood that pours from the hole. The newly created hole in his chest all over the floor. He slumps down to his knees. And as he falls forward, the whole shaft of the arrow goes straight through his back. As he lands on his face. The bloody point of the arrow sticking up out of his shoulder blade.
And he immediately sets down his hand over it, and the thorns grow around and start drinking in the blood.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's tasty.
It really is. Well, not for me, but you get the idea.
At this time, who wants to go next?
I would love to.
Okay, first thing I'd like you to do before you even do your action is roll 2d6.
Okay. 6.
6. Okay, never mind. Nothing happens. All right, continue.
Okay. All right. I'm going to swing back around at the other guy that Aevir is planning.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits. All right, let's see. Thank you, Poltroon. 3 damage.
3. Let's see. I gotta subtract from his leather, and I got. Oh, that only is gonna do 1 damage.
I figured as much.
Meaning he's still
By the way,
alive.
I only have 1 HP. Gertie's gonna kill me.
You only have 1 HP?
I had 4 total. Gertie hit me for 1, and I got hit for 2. Because I don't think I can reduce Gertie's damage.
All right, you. What did you hit him with?
My family's ancestral sword.
Ooh.
Which, if I mess up around enough, and don't do well enough, it will start attacking me and my friends.
Ah, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's a 1 in 6 chance, so you decide what number that's going to be.
I decide when you're being pathetic. Also, is that totally up to me?
Yeah, you decide when I'm being too pathetic.
Okay. Whoever wants to go next, also roll 2d6.
Sure. Let's see what the pain is. This is a 3.
Total?
Yeah.
Ouch. Nothing happens. Do your thing.
All right. Let us attempt to get the gate. And thanks to Poldroon, I managed to connect.
Right on, Poltroon. Oh, yes, sir. Most magnificent swing of the blade and the mace. Wonderful indeed, sir.
4 damage.
4 damage. How would you like to murder him?
This is a bitey gate. I don't take kindly to bitey gates. And there's just an underhand swing that connects right underneath the jaw. Jaw completely shatters. There's a shower of teeth. They fall back and impale themselves on the pump.
Ah, the spiked horns of the pump. Yes. And his black blood runs down into the basin below the pump. And it is quiet, but for that violin music that still carries on from somewhere nearby.
And the abrupt it just like stops as the guy just falls on the thing.
The hurdy-gurdy goes quiet.
And in that moment of
warming
quiet,
up.
all of a sudden, Aevir just goes and grabs Bonathan and just starts screaming. Takes the mask off. And that's what you get. And that's what you get. You dumb fucking gates. You getting in the way. Oh the goddamn time. And then just starts pummeling their skulls with bonathin
Oh, lordy.
until they are both pulped.
I'm gonna, on the body that Aevier's not going to first, I'm gonna start collecting some teeth and then just put them on my necklace.
Lots of razor sharp teeth to collect.
Just a couple, you know.
Before Aevir gets to it, as he's reduced the other one into just like brain slushy with bonathin, you do grab a couple of nice teeth out of the other one. And I would like a volunteer to roll a d66. So 2d6, that's a way of saying.
I can if no one else wants to.
Oh, you're looting a corpse, so you should do it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Oh.
have fun.
Okay. 61.
61. Oh, well, that's lucky for you. You find 61 silver pieces on this body.
Pocket
Oh.
change.
Nice.
Yeah, for you.
I mean, yes.
Rich prick.
Brindt finally comes up for air. The thorns retracting again. He like wipes a little bit of black blood trickling off the corner of his mouth somehow, even though his mouth was nowhere near it. All right then. Nobody else coming? Right? Good.
No, seems quiet.
All right, I'm gonna take the money over to Brindt. Sarah Stippish. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, and I go and like, here's some money for that tree thing we talked about earlier.
Ooh. Let's see. This just gets better and better. And you're handing him the whole satchel or whatever it is.
Yeah, all 61 silver.
Yeah, he's yeah. Okay. Protrude, my friend, my boon companion.
It was a wonderful performance, sir. I shall have to write you your own particular motivational speech for just such this occasion. I was very impressed.
Very wonderful, very good, very helpful, Protrude. I'm certain we'll become the best of friends.
Very good, sir. Very, very good to hear it.
Splendid. Looking around, is there anything else aside from the pump in the room?
So there is a pump. There is a hatch in the floor now. You can see a trap door in the floor in the far right corner. That light you saw at the other end of the hallway is coming from a very bright torch on the wall. And the pump still has some of that like muddy liquid that's pouring out of that little dragon's mouth from where the guards had pumped it prior.
Okay. I form my staff again and prod at the liquid. Like, is there any sort of feeling from it? Any sort of like nature or viscosity?
Slightly thick. But that's it's I mean it's the texture of muddy water, really.
Okay. But it's definitely not blood, right?
It's not blood. No.
Okay. Just making sure. It's important.
It's not a blood pump. Nope.
Okay. Yeah. And does the basin flow anywhere, or is it just like...
The basin below it is filled with it. There's now also blood pouring into the basin from the dude that got impaled on that thing. But the basin below the pump is mostly just full of that muddy liquid. And now a bit of blood to go with it.
Yeah. Can we prod in the basin, see if there's anything else in there aside?
Yeah, sure. Roll a d66.
D66.
Mm-hmm.
My good sir, I hardly know you. That is 43.
43. Interesting. You reach in and come up with a... You reach into the liquid and
Sure.
you feel a flat plaster-like surface on the inside. And as you pull it up, it is a death mask, a molding of one's face. The strange thing is, it's your face.
Yeah!
You drop it.
Oh
and
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
shatters on the floor.
Kick it back into the basin. Just
Oi! What was that all about?
it was a cursed mask.
Cursed masks?
Yeah.
We're not a bowl. We're in the dungeon. Oh. And then just smacks the corpse again with both of them.
Right.
That violin music continues.
We shall follow the sound of the screeching catgut.
It's gotten us into trouble enough thus far.
We just took out the garbage, that's all. So, let's check the hatch. I'm guessing that goes further down.
You
We'll
heard
find
him,
out-
Poltron. Check the hatch.
Yes, Piltrin. It's a good idea. Certain it will be a thing of story.
Yeah, yes, sir. All right. Should we just... might I ask, sir, if you'd like to do anything about the old fellow we was carrying?
Oh, he'll be fine where he is. He'll keep.
No, you did well that battle. I'm not gonna make you have to carry him again for a little bit.
It's very gracious of you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And he reaches and pulls up the trapdoor, this hatch. And as soon as he does, you are immediately greeted by this roar of heat that comes up from the floor. Just a rush of hot air that actually blows Poltroon's hair back a bit as the temperature equalizes. And there is a faint red glow coming from below.
Does this smell like sulfur as well?
Sure
'Cause we had that
does.
brimstone.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Has the music gotten louder?
It did. As that hatch opened, it got louder.
Okay. Damn it.
Apparently, it's a trap door to hell.
Certain death, certain death, certain death.
You don't have to be so giddy about it.
I mean, I'd say it's more all but certain, but, I'm liking our chances thus far.
Gertie's already on her way down the trapdoor.
Hey, Colin, is there any way I can heal myself to more than 1 hit point?
There are...
You look wounded, don't you?
Yeah, I got fanged.
You did.
I collected the fangs that fanged me, but
Roll
I
a,
did get fanged.
roll a DR12 presence.
Yeah, let's do that.
I might be able to help with that in a hot second when we have an appropriate moment.
No.
Nope.
Not-
Well, I was gonna give you a hint, but nope.
Nope. That'll do.
Oh, you're bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit down. And he'll reach into his sack again and come up with it looks like a miniature Gladstone bag.
What's a Gladstone bag?
Yeah, that. Not sure with it.
It's like an old-timey doctor.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So, drink this, don't drink this. And then he gets some needles and twine out.
You said drink this and don't drink this?
Yes.
Okay.
You drink the one so you don't hurt so much, and then you just hold on to the other.
Pretty much.
I'm going to trust you.
And I am going to use of my medicine box.
Ah, okay.
Oh, thank you.
So that will give you...
What is it?
Well, if you have any bleeding or infection, it'll deal with that.
Just bleeding.
Not yet.
That's what I thought. And you get 3 HP back.
Hey,
That's all my HP back.
you are good at this.
Try.
sew him
Ultra,
up,
why can't you do something like that?
sew up the wound in his neck, pull the thread through with your teeth, break it, and Goesig, you are feeling much better. Poltroon is standing at the trap door, just looking down at this like red glow that's coming from below, and this sulfuric, strong, like nostril stinging scent. I'm quite frightened to go down there, sir.
Don't worry, I'll go down first. You should go down last.
All right, sir, as you wish.
Wait, where's Gertie?
Gertie's.
I
they
look down
already
and I
left.
point.
Yep.
I point down to Gertie
Did Gertie already go
Hello.
down?
Yes.
before I even got my medicine check.
Yes.
Gertie, you have been down there now for a couple minutes while they've been talking, and you have been, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this would enrapture Gertie, because you now see the source of the music. You enter into a forge. At the far end of this room are two massive smelters that glow red hot, the source of that red glow. Hanging from the ceiling between you and those smelters, about 50 feet across the room, are massive meat hooks upon which rest chunks of human flesh. Of all shapes, sizes, and colors. Limbs, torsos, arms. It seems that the seer may have failed to mention that Fletcher is not only a warlock, he's a cannibal. Also, to your right, you see that the wall has collapsed. Beyond this collapsed stone wall is a pit of black sludge, looks like hot tar. That is the source of that sulfuric smell that stings your nostrils. But the most enrapturing part of it is that at the center of that pit is a pillar. A pillar that rises round about 40 feet in the air, atop which stands two skeletons playing violin. They circle around each other in a slow waltz as they screech the catgut. But between them and you is that hot sulfuric rot black sludge.
This pillar, is this like just a sheer pillar with no hand or footholds to climb up?
Looking at the... I think you... I'm gonna say you could climb it, but you'd have to get through the sludge.
How would I do that? How would I do that? Okay. I think this is a terrible idea, so I'm going to do it.
I think I'm going to take a little bit of the day's worth of rations that I have and make it into shoes. So like dried fish or meat, and make it into shoes to walk across the hot sludge and then climb up. And I'm going to go see if they need a third musician to top this pillar.
Okay. Oh my. Okay. You can get across it, but there's going to be a few rolls you're going to have to make along the way. Getting to the pillar is going to take 2 rolls. You're going to have to roll 2 DR8 toughness tests.
Okay.
got a 16 on one and a 7 on the other one.
Okay, now roll a d4.
3.
Okay. Now for one final fun thing, roll a d6 twice and let me know if you get a 1 or a 2.
Nope.
Neither time? Okay. You tie rations to your feet like a madwoman and run, trying to run atop the rot black sludge to the tower. As you do, one of them slips from your foot, it sinks into the sludge, and it scorches you, burns through your, I imagine, probably very poorly constructed shoe or sandal. I don't know what the hell you wear in your feet, but...
Rags!
Rags, okay, rags. It burns through your rags, searing your flesh to the bone for 3 damage.
Oh, that hurts.
Are you still up?
Yes!
Okay.
It's okay, I have another foot.
As you reach the pillar, let's leave you there for a second and go back to our other friends. Is anyone else going down to find out what the fuck happened to Gertie?
Maybe we should.
Yeah, after
we'll
my
go
medical
down.
treatment.
So now we gradually make our way down.
Hmm.
I like to think Aevir's the industrious one. Gets down, like, assesses everything, adjusts his backpack straps, turns around, and just staring at everything in absolute horror. Because this is much.
This is a lot, yeah.
This is a bit much.
Chunks of human flesh hanging from hooks, the smelters, the
Yeah.
rot black sludge, the tower topped with 2 skeletons playing violin.
Yeah.
And you can see now that around the rot black sludge, it opens up into several other areas. There is the tower. On the other side of the tower, you can see into another room, where another room has collapsed. And it is sparkling with many colors as light, the light from the forges and the light from torches. This prismatic spray of light passing through gemstones piled on the opposite side. Gertie, you're halfway there. But, you're here for the music. And to the left of the tower, another wall is broken down where you can see the back of what looks like a large statue of some kind of king or monarch that's crowned. But that is all.
Okay, I am not keen on this.
Ooh, fully stocked larder.
So-
Of people, mate.
I guess you can afford to be choosy these days.
So, is that ration that was on Gertie's foot sinking, or is it just floating there?
It is sinking and bubbling. And that is where you, as you come down and take in the surroundings of the gemstones and the statue and the human meat parts, that you see Gertie looking back at you with wild, crazy eyes as she reaches the tower. Gertie, to climb that, that's going to be hard. That's going to be a DR4.
Just the ration either, that's part of my foot.
That's her foot meat. That is going to be a DR14 strength to climb the tower.
Oh no. 11.
Oh dear. Okay. That means I'm going to have you do another roll there to not get eaten by rot black sludge acid. So do a DR8 toughness.
Yes, 13.
13. Okay. You're like hot footing it, like trying to not sink into the sludge. but you're still not going anywhere. So you gotta either keep moving or get up this tower. Still going for climbing the tower? Okay. Do another TR14 strength.
20!
Hey! Damn.
I am the strongest I've ever been.
Tell me how you do this.
I find a song deep in my heart that only I can hear, and it is the percussive noise of the beetles crunching carapaces when I chewed them back when I still had most of my teeth. And with that ringing in my ears, I just find my way to the gated purchase on the very top of this thing, and I pull myself up, and there I am with the skeletons.
As you've reached the top, the skeletons turn, bringing their bows along the violins, and they bow to you.
Ooh.
And continue to play. And then as they reach the sort of crescendo of the piece they're doing, they hoist their bow and their violin, bring them to their side, and one offers it to you to play. And yes, all of you can see Gertie atop a tower, surrounded by raw black sludge, hanging out with two musical skeletons.
You know, I think she's happier there.
See, Poldrin, this is what happens when you believe in yourself, or at least believe in me, kind of believing in you.
I suppose that my station in life is primarily a failure of my self-esteem, sir. If only I believed in myself more.
See, that is self-reflection, and that is good.
Thank you, sir.
So help me get these bodies down. We're going to use them for a bridge.
The meat chunks?
Yeah, the meat chunks.
You're making a meat bridge.
I'm so
Look, when life
happy
gives
right
you-
now.
You and Poltroon begin pulling down meat bits. While you do so, you see on the other side of the hunks of meat and the forge, there is a door at the far end of this forge also. The only other ways out you see other than the door are the open areas on the other sides of the sludge.
Okay, so that door's on this side of the sludge.
Yeah, there's one door that's in the same room as you. You don't have to go through sludge to get to it. And then there is all of the other openings that you would have to go through the sludge to get to.
So, just as an assessment, we do not have to construct a meat bridge. That is an option. However, if we construct the meat bridge, we might be able to retrieve Gertie.
It's
These-
generous, but
These are the options before us. Or we can try and do both. We can split the party, have some of us go through the door, and the others on Operation Meat Bridge.
That's going to be a new command for the chat. Makes Operation Meat Bridge command.
I mean,
Is there enough
really,
meat to actually get us across?
You think I'm going to say no to Operation Meat Bridge? Of course there's enough meat to make a meat bridge. It's a meat pontoon bridge.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like a meat raft. It feels like.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever works.
Somewhere Slayer is writing a song right now.
Yep. Brindt looks at Poltroon and Goesig, looks towards the door. You think there's a way around to where we see that sparkly stuff? Anna, why? Why would you do this?
Well, no. Just keep in mind. What about this entire thing, aside from the lovely artwork that we saw before, since entering this room says we're going to be lucky and get to the obviously dangerous shiny bits?
I'm not saying go that way. I'm saying go the other way around. There's probably a long way around here.
Yes, and there's probably a boarded up door with something nasty on the opposite side of it that prevents us to getting to the shiny base. There's just the equation is suffering. How would you like to suffer? Do you want to go through what we can see of suffering, or would you like to take the mystery box?
I mean, you're talking to a man who is used to taking chances in his life. So a little mystery never killed anybody that wasn't me.
Fine, fine. I just want to find this fancy Ponzi guy so we can get out of this.
I mean,
Beats hell.
Unless he's one of the skeletons up there, or he's being used currently as a flotation device.
I don't think a royal is going to end up as a flotation device. I can't be wrong. But I think, do you know of any royals that ended up? Oh, there was one. Yeah.
I've heard
I stand corrected, but it's not that likely.
Yeah, you're true. The odds are very improbable. However, that is neither here nor there. What I am saying is, he is not here, so he must be or there.
Fair. I would like to find out what's behind the door. That way, I can make an informed decision about trying to climb across human meat or walk someplace else.
Well, the door is waiting. All you have to do is go through.
I am going to open this door. Are we all okay with that? I seek informed consent.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
From the edge of the acid stuff, I go, "You're your own man. I'm not your boss. No, put that one there." Okay.
Yes, Poltroon is throwing corpse bits into the sludge.
All right.
Meanwhile, Gertie is just playing the Blood Moonlight Sonata from the top of
Nice. Oh, I was
from
about
the
to get
top
to
of
you,
this
Gertie.
pillar.
Because do you know how to play violin, Gertie? Questionable?
I don't even know how I know how to play the hurdy-gurdy, which is considerably one of the more difficult instruments known to mankind. So probably it's a little squeaky.
Do for me a DR12 presence roll.
Okay. Nope. 8.
8. Roll a D20.
This is why you always rosin the bow before you begin. 11.
11. Oh, that's so hard to read.
That's never a good laugh.
And
What's
it
funny
wasn't
is-
a very good sonata.
I've laughed that laugh. That's a horrifying laugh.
That will come back to haunt you later. In the meantime, all that happens is that you play some atrocious violin music, and the skeletons look disappointed, and one reaches out its bony hand and requests its violin back.
Okay, fine.
And it takes it. And Aevir, as you open that door, roll a DR12 agility.
Oh, lovely. 15.
15 will do. As you open the door, a spiked flail flies through that just barely misses your nose as you take a step back. And you see that spiked flail is being held by a 7-foot-tall man built like a grizzly bear, covered in tattoos. He is bare-chested, covered in scars and tattoos all throughout his body. He wears a sort of chain loincloth around his lower half and these high leather-strapped boots. He is dragging the half-torn corpse just the upper half of what looks like a young man that he throws aside. And he just looks to you, smiles, and says, "Hello." And
Hello, handsome.
Presume.
Fletcher is. He got the first attack, so it is your go.
So his name is Fletcher.
Oh,
Hi
yes.
there. Hey there, handsome. I'm not here to necessarily party, but you do have a young lordling that we are definitely interested in relieving you of, if you haven't already relieved yourself of them.
Or relieve yourself on them, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm not here to kink shame. I'm just here to retrieve.
You want the young prince, do you?
Please?
It's very polite.
I finally get more with kindness than you do with a mace.
Honey and flies and all that.
Can't hear me without the honey.
I was looking forward to devouring noble flesh. But I'll tell you what. We'll say you roll yourself a presence check here to see if you can persuade him.
I would also like to mechanically use the bribing.
Ah, okay.
I have 110 silver. It's burning a hole in my pocket right now. A me-sized hole in my pocket because I want to preserve the me. So that's a 21, just on the roll.
Nice.
Hot damn.
There you go.
Fletcher lowers his flail, rips the arm from that corpse he just tossed aside, takes a bite. I can let you have the prince. You just gotta kill somebody for me, yeah?
That sounds reasonable. Who needs to go away?
Her name's Lesdy.
Lazy, okay.
Lives in this dungeon. I fucking hate her. She wants my worm. Don't look at me like that. She wants to control it. You ain't seen it yet, have you?
No, we have not come across a worm, unless it's one of those tiny ones that was in the old man's bed.
Oh, no, you wouldn't be able to miss this one. Tall as a building, looks like a giant intestine.
Good to know. Good to know. No, we have not come across your worm.
It sounds remarkably unfamiliar.
He's swimming in that there sludge where your friend's playing violin.
Good to know. Good to know. But where can we find this Leslie to relieve you of this problem?
That's the problem. I can't figure out how to get to her so I can bash her fucking brains in. There's a tunnel nearby. There's some kind of trapdoor or something to get in there. I don't know, all this place is secrets. It's older than me. You can find a tunnel. That'll take you to her. Back the way you come, up through that ladder.
Sounds reasonable. Thank you so much, Fletcher. Pleasure doing business with you, sir. Hopefully we will come back with Leslie's skull. I will try and refrain and just bash her chest in instead of her head mates, so that you may gaze upon the visage of thy enemy. and we can make that exchange.
You use lots of pretty words. I bet your tongue tastes good.
I've heard it's a bit on the bitter side, but that's neither here nor there. Well, I will see you again, Fletcher, hopefully with Leslie's skull. If not, it's been fun. See you later.
Fare thee well, friend. He slams the door behind him.
He was a very amicable sort.
Most folks are. You just have to give them a chance.
It's fair. Should we retrieve them, or should we just hold off on this all on our own?
I prefer having many hands make light work.
About those hands being used for work, how are we on Operation Meat Bridge?
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, so Goesig, roll your presence roll to see how well Poltroon is making your meat bridge.
Oh, I'm helping him.
Okay.
I'm not-
That's, wow,
yeah.
look at that.
What's my DR?
DR will be 12.
That is an 8.
8. You have a meat bridge that could get you across, but it looks like these bits are sinking into the sludge maybe a bit faster than you anticipated, so you have to go be quite quick about it. You trying to get to the statue or the big shiny?
I'm trying to get to the big shiny.
The big shiny room. Okay. Gertie, what are you doing up there with those skeletons now that they've dissed your playing?
Did they take away the violin for real?
He requested it back, so that's up to you. He held out
I
his
give
hand.
it back, and then I start playing the most mournful dirge I can think of on the hurdy-gurdy, and I'm just crying in the most gross way possible with, like, snot and tears, and also all of the dirt that's on my face falling off as I'm crying, and it's getting all mixed up in the strings and the turning wheel of the
Oh,
instrument,
God.
so it's just even worse. I am a picture of abject misery and sorrow at this time.
Everybody roll your TR12 presence from her terrible song. And I'm going to roll for the skeletons, too.
I am wailing discordantly.
Got a 14.
Fortunately, I have enough time to escape, I think.
One of them failed.
If you fail, you will take 2 points of damage,
I have fortunately succeeded in
which
this
is but a
discourse.
small fraction of the damage that this disrespect has done to my heart.
Fletcher failed. You just hear from beyond that door, like, oh! Oh! One of the skeletons in front of you drops its violin and just falls off the tower into the sludge. Gertie, roll a d6 for me.
3.
3, okay. Ooh, lucky. It falls in to the sludge, and as it starts to sink into the rot black sludge, you see something quickly shoot up, grab it, and pull it down.
Damn it, I wanted to be part of the bridge.
You wanted the skeleton in the meat bridge? Only meat in the meat bridge, no bones.
Hey, you didn't tell me if Fletcher deboned these bodies.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he's that discerning, probably. I don't think he'd even take the time. But... So, Gertie, you've now harmed everybody with your terrible dirge. But the meat bridge is basically complete. Who is going to attempt to get across the meat bridge?
I was kind of assuming that I had to be walking on it to continue building it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're going to do the roll. I think you can protect yourself from the heat because meat bridge, but you do have to roll a d6.
Okay. That is a 4.
All right. Getting across, according to the way it's written here, getting across this thing takes 4 rounds, all the way from one side to the other, so you have to roll that d6 4 times.
Okay. Wait, 3 more?
Yeah, so
The
3 more.
problem is that I have not stopped playing the instrument, though.
Oh,
And
God.
it damages you even further round by round.
We'd be getting out of there as soon as the hurdy-gurdy starts playing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you guys can
Did
haul
you-
ass upstairs.
Did you implore for me to cease my abject sorrow?
Not our job.
I do
I
not.
wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to reach you. You're too. You're too abject.
We'll get to that.
So,
What was your second roll?
let me tell you all 3 in reverse order.
Okay.
It was 6, 4, and a 1.
Ah, that's the one I was hoping for. The
Yeah, I was hoping
one-
that the 1 was the second one.
Ah, the 1 is what I wanted. Okay. You need to roll a DR6 agility. That's just to see. Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it's
You.
a D8 because of my armor.
Oh dear.
DR8.
dear.
I'm dead. I'm assuming that's a 5.
That is a 5. You're going across the. Oh God. Oh dear. Let me tell you about the last few seconds of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you are walking across the meat bridge you've constructed with Poltroon, are you in the lead or is Poltroon in the lead?
Poltroon's always in the lead.
Okay. He is carrying armfuls of body parts that he is tossing into the sludge. As soon as it hits the sludge, it sizzles and bubbles, the flesh peeling away, and he hops over it like a kid skipping rocks in the creek. Coming into view now, as you are behind Poltroon, is this room that is just wall-to-ceiling gemstones. Beautiful, beautiful pieces. You, Goesig, you have lost so much.
I know.
Your estate, your lands, your titles all have slipped from your fingers, and you have found yourself abject and trapped in a jail cell awaiting execution. But there in front of you, you see you can punch your ticket to a better life. You can reclaim your estates. You can finally fucking kill Poltroon and get yourself a real proper servant who knows what they're doing. You can hire a whole host of servants. You can hire a private army with the number in there, and you can have your revenge on all those who wronged you at court. And you are there. You see it laid out before you, like stepping through the door into a new life. And that is right where you are when a massive worm that looks like a dangling piece of viscera, a massive intestine, shoots up from the sludge, bites half of your torso off, and then swallows the remainder of you, and then sinks back down into the sludge. The last thing you hear is Poltroon. The fate worse than death, to have his fucking voice be the last thing you heard. But death is exactly your fate, as you hear, "So big well." And Gertie, you see Goesig's devoured and pulled down into the sludge from atop your skeleton tower.
I like the idea that if Poltroon didn't say anything, the worm would have missed, but I paused to hear what he said.
What, Poltroon?
And now you see I don't even have a friend or a violin anymore. And I'm still playing the hurdy-gurdy.
Poltroon. Poltroon is. I'm gonna make him roll against you. He got 11.
He failed. It's gonna be a 12.
It's 12. Oh yeah, but
It's a
how much
12.
damage is it now though?
It's a D4. And I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay, I'm gonna see if Poltroon rolled a 1 in the d6. So Poltroon stops, holds his ears, wails, "No, master, no!" as the gutworm comes up from beneath him, devouring the piece of viscera that he was standing on, and biting down right around his hips, rending his legs from his torso. And Gertie, you see Poltroon cleaved in twain, and just his upper half floats in the sludge a moment before the gutworm comes back up and slurps up the remains. So at least those two friends died together.
Cleft in twain, just like my heart, now that annoying friend is gone. She's just continuing to dirge Caterwall, be generally as obnoxiously sad as possible.
So Brindt and Aevir went back upstairs. By the way, I'm gonna have you whenever I'm gonna send you messages as we go on, Gertie, to continue rolling damage for your Caterwall.
Okay, it's all I have left, really.
The two of you climb back up the ladder, and you're back in the pump room hallway, lined with paintings.
There was another door out to here, yeah, other than the hallway.
There's the one you leaned the guy against.
That was
the
it?
one with the scraping, but I'm thinking we go further back and check out that the right path where we first came in.
We could try that, yeah.
I think that might be the way to go. So, because I don't want to go into the room with the scraping. That
that's
seems
trouble.
yeah. So
Both of you roll DR12 presence rolls.
Oh no. That's an 8.
12 on the dot.
12 on the dot. Would you describe Aevir as in any way a meticulous person?
Meticulous, not so much, but he is someone who is very set in his ways. Like, every bit of his kit is in a very specific place. So
A place
he
for
knows,
everything and everything in its place?
yeah, very much like that. Like, he's a picky eater. He has to eat one thing on the plate first and complete it before moving on to the next thing. He's not meticulous, he's fussy.
Fussy. Okay. That's why it just sticks in your craw. One of those paintings is crooked.
What fuckery is this?
What?
It's the most offensive thing about this place, with body parts hanging from hooks and intestinal worms, is that there is a crooked painting. It is offensive.
What? The meat lord or the bug lady?
I don't know. Some jackass decided to, fuck with one of these paintings. What stupid fucking git takes the time out of the goddamn day to just come up to something and knock it out of its goddamn place? I have absolutely no patience for this kind of fuckery.
You adjust the painting?
Yeah.
Okay, as you adjust the painting, the floor opens up and you both fall. There is the entire floor just... It's very, very quick. It's like the floor is on hinges right there. That just lets out as you two fall. You both are going to take a d4 of damage from the fall. I don't know if that's going to kill you. We'll see.
I've got armor.
Not me. That's just 2 damage.
Just 2.
I take 1.
Not bad. You land on a hard stone floor in this weird little winding tunnel. The floor above you closes. The way back out is shut. But at the far western end, you can hear voices singing in this off minor key. Sounds like a woman's voice and a few others.
It's not Gertie, though, right?
It's not Gertie. It's much more pleasant.
Okay, good.
I think this might be the Leshty lady.
Probably. She's not alone, which makes this job a lot harder.
Oh, you don't see, mate, that we are in a very particular predicament which I've been in before a number of times. Everybody down here wants someone else dead.
So what we do is we set them at each other's throats the right way.
Precisely, we give them a help just enough to stab them in the back and then get what we want out of here.
Third worst place? Yeah, let's go then.
Yeah, again, they have people, he's very large, but who knows? By the time we get back, Gertie might have just murdered him with her camera rolling. I don't know.
I'm
So-
really hoping that's what happens, actually. I mean, she's got her uses, I guess, for that sort of thing.
The thing is, we just have to make sure that we convince these lady folk to go in ahead of us to see just how damaging Gertie is at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
if they kill over dead, then we just leave.
It's true. We just tell him that we killed Fletcher and that she can go get the worm.
Yeah. Sure, let's go with that. It just walks.
As you walk up the tunnel, you reach an area where the tunnel narrows enough. You have to kind of squeeze through. Are either of you wearing heavy armor?
No,
No.
Okay. You are?
no.
No.
No. Okay. Then you can get through this with a bit of squeezing. If you have heavy armor, you'd have to take it off to get through, but you could.
So yeah, just push on through. What's on the
Yeah.
other side?
Okay. You enter into a greenhouse.
Oh, lovely.
It is hot and stuffy, but pleasant. It has a sweet smell in the air. There are kind of almost sickeningly sweet flowers that grow all around. Actually, it's probably one of the more verdant things any of you have seen in your miserable lives.
No, thank you.
At the far end of it is a small campfire where a woman whose face is painted white and adorned with little red sigils and a red lip sits with three young men and women all dressed in rags around a campfire. She looks pleased to see you and smiles as you come through.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. Would you like to sit down?
Not just yet. We're here on business. Are you Leshty?
I am, yes.
Good. Good. Just I'm looking for. There is an odious fellow named Fletcher upstairs. Yeah. I'm fairly certain he is about to die. He was not a big fan of you. Which makes it so that worm thing that you were kind of after is freed up. But I am going to let you know that while the worm is free, it is currently imperiled
Why is that?
because of the thing that's killing Fletcher.
Who is doing harm to my worm?
Terrible banshee got summoned.
I see. That is unfortunate. I've long sought that beautiful creature. Fletcher doesn't appreciate it. Have you seen it?
No, I might have been able to get a chance, but then the music that hurts all of the meat parts was playing.
I see. So what do you want from me, then?
We are just here from outside to retrieve a certain young noble, alive or dead, and bring him back to his parent. That's all we want.
The
You can
rest
keep.
of the place is of little concern to us.
Is this Fletcher's captive?
Yes, some form of young noble. Really don't care. I just want to get him, so my life can continue forward.
Not here.
Mm-hmm. I fail to see what you want from me. Perhaps you should sit, have a drink, talk a while.
No, I am a man of action. I'm just here to let you know about all the goings on. I have informed you what I desire. Now, if you want to go and try and save your precious worm, this is the opportunity to do so. If that is not a concern of yours, we'll go back up, not disturb your worm, probably try to avoid the odiousness of Fletcher's corpse, and then retrieve what is more than likely a dead noble.
That is not my worm. I desire it to be. The sludge, as they call it, the viscous fluid. Consuming it gives one the power to control the worm. But I can't get close enough. Every time I do, Fletcher instructs it to attack me.
I don't think Fletcher's going to be doing much instructing much longer. Or won't be anyway.
So if you want, you can lead us back up to the pool of the sludge.
Mm-hmm.
We can make certain that Fletcher is no more. You can take your time to eat the sludge while we retrieve the noble. Sound good?
Very well. Are either of you harmed in any way?
No, right as rain.
I've got a little bit of bruising, but nothing that, a good night's rest won't fix.
I can offer you a healing tonic that might help.
We're good for healing, if needed. Your hospitality is very much appreciated, though.
Very well. My hosts will accompany us back to the sludge, if you will.
Certainly.
Of course.
The three men and women stand. They have sunken eyes. Their heads are shaven. They don't seem to take much note of you or their surroundings, but continue on, just follow blindly with you.
Sounds good. Sounds just jolly good.
Just fine. And while we're following along, where she hopefully can't see, I am going to sneak a swig of my life elixir to heal myself up without availing myself of her resources. Because, nope, not gonna do it. Be prudent.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. How much does that heal you for, that life elixir?
That is gonna get me 2 HP back to bring me back up to full.
Alright. She brings you back through the tunnel, which goes down further. And you're starting to smell that sulfur smell again. And as the tunnel opens wide at the end, you suddenly see you are in that room adorned with gemstones. Simply another way around. It is illuminated with spectacular colors. The stuffy air reeks of sulfur, rotback sludge, and that awful, awful music But a lot has happened since you left here. And Gertie, I've been having Gertie roll damage the whole time you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Gertie, every one of those counts as a round. I counted, you rolled 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually, excuse me. Roll 6d6. I want you to roll them one at a time and let me know if you get a 1 or a 2.
That's a 1. 4. 2. 3. 5. 6. So 2 times that happened.
1. Gertie, you rolled enough damage in the time that you were playing this instrument to kill Fletcher and also enough to kill the worm. Her last one was a d20 and she rolled a 20 on it. So you did enough damage to kill both of them. How?
I even kind of wish. What'd you say?
However, you also rolled 2 things that would make the worm attack you.
Okay.
You take a total of 5 points of damage.
Oh, I'm dead.
You're broken, right? You hit 0?
Yep.
Roll a d4. Let's see if you're dead.
4.
You are dead. You are absolutely dead. The worm, you see as you're wailing, caterwauling, the worm gets up from the sludge and it like quivers and shakes. And all of you exit out into the gem room in time to see this worm standing up. Leslie looks so distressed at this worm, her baby, that just quivers and bites down on Gertie. The music comes to an abrupt halt as the worm shrivels and falls back down into the sludge and begins to sink. Leslie looks absolutely mortified at this. Yes? Oh, you're muted.
Now, there is a service I can offer to possibly retrieve your worm.
How? It's my
Now,
child.
Here's the caveat. The price is, should I bring this thing back, the gems are mine.
I don't care for the gems. Bring me my child.
Sure, let's try this. I would like to use my sacred scroll of resurrection.
Yes. All right. So I believe that requires a presence test, right? It's our first time using a scroll.
Yep. It requires a presence of 12.
A presence of 12. On a fail, it just fizzles, or
Pretty sure it's an arcane mishap.
It's a mishap.
And also, his head hurts, and I think he takes D4 damage.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
think.
bad. It's all sorts of bad. But
Oh,
that was a
thank
night.
you.
That's a 19.
That is a 19. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm gonna the worm. I mean, tell me how this this looks.
So, pulls out the scroll, uses Boathan to keep it open. Boathan on one side, Mace on the other. Rubs his hands together. Puts the hat back on, because you have to be properly dressed for this. Eson donen monine, donen mones gondwa, etun non kilie don svenda. Live, fucker!
Very straightforward ritual.
And the sludge begins to shake and quiver like gelatin as the worm rises from the sludge. You see the open end of its maw. Just all you can see is just teeth. It's like looking straight at you, just this tubular vacuum with just rows and rows of spike teeth all the way down. Like I said, intestine. And it starts to convulse. And it just vomits up Goesig and Gertie's parts all over the gems. You just get like the top half of... Oh, and Poltroon too. Just everything it's eaten in the last bit. Just both you, Brindt, Aevir, Leslie, her host, are all just splattered with the viscera of your friends.
That is the third worst vomit I've been covered in.
Oh, and a bit of violin skeleton too, yeah. A bit of violin skeleton comes out. But a fully intact violin.
Stuff it in the sack.
You're all just head to toe plastered. Gertie's face still stuck in an awful grimace. Yep, looks just like that.
I think you should eat the sludge now. Maybe.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yep, Leslie grabs from one of her hosts a cup and reaches into the sludge and downs it. I'm gonna see.
She's gonna die. Please.
She fucking died! She drinks the sludge. And she only has 5 HP. She just took 6. She drinks the sludge and you see her eyes start to bulge from her head and go bloodshot as it burns. This acrid sludge burns all the way down her chest. Her chest starts to split open as this sludge burns through her ribs and starts to drip out from beyond her lungs, just running down her as she falls face first into the sludge, and her face starts to melt into it. Her hosts scatter and flee and run back to the greenhouse.
Well, see, this is the thing about rituals. They all come at a price. You gotta do your research, right, Bonafide? No, you gotta do your research. You gotta prep for all these things. Everything has a blood price, don't you know? Well,
You have to account for all the odds in this sort of thing.
guess we have to go on back. Double back through the greenhouse. Go back. Go into the Accursed Den. Retrieve what bits of the noble. And then, well, no, waste not, what not. And takes the heads of Goesig's, Poltroon, and Gertie. I've got a week to bring you back. This is homework for later. I can use servants. I've got money now. And
We're both men of means, I think.
yes, we are. Besides, we've gotten out this entire place because I'm certain that those 3 fuckers are gone.
That takes care of a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And this will get a lot of blood for the Gnarl.
Oh, most definitely. If you have a Dark Lord, we can work things out. And
The worm rises again from the sludge.
I think we need to clear out, though.
yeah, now's the time to be a quick retreat.
And
All right.
and it bows its weird mawed head to you, Aevir. It
Oh.
crooks.
Well, It's good to meet you, my son. I'm going to make certain that you are fed.
You want the meat, I'll take the blood, and it works out in the end, yeah?
Oh, it works beautifully. I mean, we've got an entire kingdom upstairs to deplete, so this is going to be great. Now then, let me just get all back around, get that little gubbin. We can throw him in the wheelbarrow outside, take him back off to the parapet, drop him off at the Sears, and then be right back in a jiff.
Well, see, the problem is, to get here, you had to go down through that trap door you fell through that you can't get back up. So the only way back to where Fletcher was and all them is through the sludge.
Is the worm willing to breach us across?
Oh, actually, there might be another way. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, sorry. I take that back. There's another way out. On the other side of the gem room, there is a door there.
Let's see.
Open archway, actually.
Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
The worm, like, follows you as you go by, and it's like, I don't know, it's almost like, Daddy, come back. Like,
I take Gertie's arm and toss it to the worm. That's a good
you see
line.
it undulate the whole way down.
I just need the heads.
As you enter this room, it is full of chains that hang from the ceiling, hooked chains. These ones are, at the moment, unused. This might be Fletcher's overflow space or something. At the north end of it is a iron door with looks like a broken handle. Might be able to get it open. There is a door at the south end of this as well. You came in through the west, so there's a door at the south end. Rickety wooden... Oh, sorry, not a door. A set of stairs. Rickety wooden stairs that go up. And to your left is an iron door.
Which way leads closer to Fletcher's?
Left, that way. Yeah, that would take you back.
Stairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
let's
not
take the stairs.
not the stairs. The door would be the direction
door.
of Fletcher.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The door.
Well, Matilda, it looks like we got to do some exercise again.
Break out, Matilda. DR 12 strength.
I've been working on the railroad
Give her a
all
try.
the live long 17.
17. The door pops right up and open. You and Matilda wedge the door up, pops off its hinges and falls in, revealing that room you saw before, the back of it, with the statue, the crowned statue. Behind the statue is opened up to the cavity where the sludge is, and the worm now is like over there too, behind the statue, like. To your right, there is a door. To the north, so ahead of you is a door. To the right is a door. And there is a massive statue to your left, behind which is the worm. The statue is a crowned king sitting with his arms crossed. But what is notable about this is that one of its eyes is missing.
Is there something around here that looks like it goes in that socket?
No eyes. There's no eyes just sitting around, if that's what you're asking. No.
Yeah. Again, something that looks like it goes in that hole. Nothing around? All right.
Mm.
Well, let's go through the door where I think Fletcher's corpse is. And we'll say hi.
Yep. Fletcher is lying on the ground with his hands clasped over his ears. You see that there is a bloody spot on the wall, on the stones, where it appears that he bashed his own head into the stones until he killed himself.
Not so high and mighty now, is he?
He headbanged to death.
Rest in violence.
Well, I'm certain there's fluid left. Do your business, and then I'll chuck him off to the worm.
Well, make sure you get your braining in. I know that's your
Well-
and Bonifant's thing.
I didn't really kill him, so it's not really my business.
It's fair.
Also, he wasn't really a nemesis of ours. We were business partners that just happened to, double cross.
That's fair. This is a part of the business, though. He sets his hand down on Fletcher and just riddles him through with the thorns and drinks.
Oh, nice. You drain. As you do, you well, you know what? Roll a DR10 presence.
Presents.
Presence.
16.
16.
Looks good.
As you're drinking in Fletcher, you pull his body up off the floor. You see that while his skull is bashed, where he beat it repeatedly against the wall, his eyes are still there.
Yeah, that's convenient. I'm going to go take it and do the do, as it were.
Just rip an eye out of Fletcher and...
Yeah.
Yep. Just very, very quickly, very, once more, it's business.
It's very efficient. Also, roll a d10 to see what occult treasure you find on the cannibal warlock Fletcher.
That's a 9 on the dice.
9. Ooh, yes. You find that Fletcher was wearing around his head a black metal headband.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the black crown of the Broken King. Wearing this item crooks your body as you become aware that you and every creature within Wearing this crooks your body as you become aware that you and every creature within 100 yards gain plus 10 to attack rolls, but minus 10 to all defense rolls. Rolls that go above 20 count as crits and below 1 count as fumbles. This, once worn, this can only be removed in the light of a full moon.
We'll just hold on to that.
Yeah, that's for later.
That, for emergency purposes.
As you pop the eyeball into the statue, the door to the right when you came in,
Yeah.
you hear a...
I do not like this locking mechanism. We're going to have to see about getting some remodeling done down here.
We're going to need to call a locksmith, yes.
Yeah. As I drag Fletcher's now desiccated corpse. Here, Pinky! Here, boy! And just
Pinky?
throw-
We're calling him
Yes.
Pinky? That is his former master, and he still devours it because he don't care. You're his daddy now.
That's a good lad.
So what's in that other door that we just unlocked?
Yeah, what is in that room?
We're just going to pop the door open. I'm hoping it's a dead prince, but...
Yeah, one can dream.
There is... They said that you would recognize a noble when you saw him. And you do. For starters, he has all of his teeth.
Oh,
Yeah, of course he does.
dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm. He is a young man, only about 17. He is seated cross-legged on this floor of this room. Small room. Just a bookshelf, a mirror. Leaning against the bookshelf is a crossbow. There's a bullwhip that hangs above a small cot. There are bowls with water and food, but he doesn't seem to be paying any mind to those. No, he's preoccupied. You can tell he has all of his teeth because he's currently sitting cross-legged on the floor, gnawing on human bones.
Oh, lad.
You've gotten all the meat off. Leave it alone. Or at least crack for the marrow.
Who sent you?
Oh, your father.
I don't want to go back to my father. I'm happy
Oh.
here.
I can see that, but there has been what is referred to as regime change.
What do you What is that?
The Fletcher is no more.
I'm Pinky's dad now, and Lashdi is no more. The little minions scattered about are either fled or are dying. So this is not a place you can stay.
So they won't give me any more bones.
Not here, but I am certain if we take you back, explain the situation, and by explain, I mean off your dad, we can set you up as the new lord of this place. Well, lord of the land. I get to keep this place. And you can just get all the bones you want. How's that sound?
They'll even give you pretty bones, I'm sure.
Pretty bones. Yes. That sounds wonderful.
All right, we've got a wonderful wheelbarrow and a donkey upstairs that will take you back. Then we can just arrange this whole thing to happen. Sound good?
Yes. Let me get my things.
Excellent.
And he just grabs like a burlap sack that he just like reaches under his bed and just starts just like throwing bones into it.
See, he knows what it's about.
He's got his priorities in order.
He packs up his bag. Is there anything you'd like to take from the room? Like I said, there's a bullwhip and a crossbow. But...
Oh, we're going to be back later.
That's right.
Yeah,
This is yours now. Yeah.
I would say we have a deed to this place, and if we don't have a deed, we're going to write the deed to this place.
Yeah, we can work all that out. Now, we'll usher the young lad on up. We go through Fletcher's place. We head on out.
All right. You escort Alden up on out. Get back up to the top of the mausoleum. As you walk out of the Accursed Den, you walk past the room where Gertie's decapitated head still sits in a terrible grimace upon the floor. Oh, that's right. No, you took it. I forgot. You took the head.
It's in the
it's in the
backpack.
sack. Yeah. You've got time. So you can still bring everybody back, can't you?
I have a week.
You have a week. Let's talk about that. You escort Alden out of the Accursed Den and out of GRAVENTOSK. You bring him back to the Shadow King's palace. Tell me what you do in the 7 days that followed this one.
Well, I don't care what happens between the Shadow King and his cannibal son.
Pretty much.
That don't matter. There are plenty of people that come to GRAVENTOSK to grave rob, to do all sorts of things. Maybe have been given a task by the basilisk themselves to, try and get silver from a sinner's, grave. That's a thing that happens. Well, pop him off, give him his blood, feed Pinky. After I've rested up, I'm going to see about bringing... No, we're going to hold off on Gertie. She might get her hands on that damn musician box and kill all of us again. I'm saving her for last.
Why don't we just plunge that into the sludge?
No, it's a useful device, and I need an assassin. Especially one that can take out an entire town, should it be necessary.
Fine. If you must, you must.
So I'll bring back Poltroon because I do actually enjoy his company.
Poltroon's first before anybody else. Oh god, alright, roll your presence check to bring back Poltroon.
We wish back Poltroon.
In very Poltroon fashion, I just make it.
Beautiful. Poltroon's body reassembles. It's like stitched together, like the sludge acts as like adhesive that suctions his bits back together. And he all of a sudden takes a gasp on the cobblestone floor and just, oh, sir! There's a big worm!
Yeah, his name's Pinky. He's lovely.
What? I was dead.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna have terrible nightmares for the rest of your life.
Don't sleep near me.
There
I
was
give the nightmares.
there was nothing, sir. Just the black void with nothing beyond. Everything they told us about the gods was a lie, sir.
That's the spirit.
It's just the dark void awaiting each and every one of us.
Yeah, and I'm the only one that can bring you back.
Acceptance is the first step towards admitting you have a problem.
My problem is life, then.
Well, if you want to go back, Pinky's right there.
He's very hungry.
Poltroon jumps in the sludge.
Well,
You
you
tried.
win some, you lose some.
You can't say you didn't try.
And
Without
Pinky,
having a poltroon, do it bring Goesig back because he doesn't have anyone to bother. And he really does seem that he needs to bother somebody in order for him to have any semblance of joy.
You just need to get him a new poltroon.
Yeah, but that level of brokenness takes time. That takes time and effort and familial obligation, and I don't have that in me.
You're right. It's way too much work.
However, okay, so I know how I have to do this. We're going to bring Goesig's back, but we're not going to bring him back here
Where are you going to put him?
where he wants to be. We're going to go back upstairs, back over to the Shadow King's realm. We're going to find a good, all right brothel. And we're going to take 2 of those gems, have them set up, and we're going to bring them back in the damn brothel. And then he's no longer my problem, my obligation, and he can wreak havoc on the Shadow King, getting his revenge, distracting all the nobility, and so leave us to our work.
The best part is he'll owe us a favor, too.
Yeah, it means that he knows I can bring back the dead, which means things get interesting, because he's going to want certain people sticking around. But that's a thing, that's a problem for future me, should he actually be successful. Which, let's be fair, the guy's just a distraction.
It's always a gamble.
All right, let's bring him back.
do you
Have
leave him a
ourselves a night
note
out.
of any kind as part of this plan? Like, will he know it's you? Well, I guess
Oh,
I'm getting ahead of myself. Roll the check first.
You wish back, Goesig.
17.
17. All right, now I ask, do you leave Goesig a note when he awakens in a brothel?
Yeah, it's pinned to him.
Literally pinned to him.
Through the skein.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pinned, like, I have taken a tack and put it through the flesh of his skull. And so he has to pull it off in order to see. And it just says, Dear Goesig, brought you back from the dead. You owe us one. Have fun getting your revenge. Love, Aevir. P.S. Tried to bring Poltroon back. Jumped into a lake of acid. Says there's nothing on the other side of death except darkness and misery. Keep that in mind.
It's the funniest thing he ever said.
Goesig, you awaken in a bed.
Poltroon, there's a piece of paper on my head. Take it off.
No
Poltroon?
response.
What, we don't have a sexy poltroon cosplayer for him? What are we even doing here?
What's all this been for? Goesig, you read Aevir's note. Well, after you rip it out of your face, I guess.
Yeah.
And you find that you are alone in this brothel with 2 massive basketball-sized diamonds.
I mean, I'm gonna start a new, kingdom, court's the real word.
Goesigs, you begin your life anew. I'd love to know. Give me your 5-year plan, if you will.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's gonna get people to join me, cause an insurrection, topple the regime, go somewhere else and do the same.
Topple the Shadow King. Righteous. I want you to roll. This is long term. I want you to roll DR14. I will let you use whatever stat you can justify, but long term to see if you are successful.
Well, it's a 19 anyways.
It's a 19. They say that the title of Shadow King is hereditary. That princes are always born to the Shadow King, and that in time they inherit his crown. Every so often, though, things go awry, and a prince is born like Alden. One who desires not the throne, but the bones. A weak prince. One rife for the taking. And it is not 5 years down the road when the old Shadow King departs and Alden takes the throne that Goesig spies his opening, deposes the weak fool, and takes his rightful place in the court of GRAVENTOSK. Fuck yeah. And finally, we have one outstanding order of business.
All right. Please have your tendrils ready in case she comes back a little more off than usual.
You heard him. The vines start wrapping around Brint's fingers.
All right.
By the way, are you back at the den?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Pinky's on standby too.
Yeah, I need all hands on deck for this one. The Fates want her back. That was a nat 20.
Oh my. I don't think there's a rule for crits on arcane shit, but
No, I don't think so. But the Fates want her fucking back.
The Fates don't want her where they are.
yeah, they do not. She is aggressively kicked out of hell. What I do. Roll for me, really. Roll a d20, Gertie.
Oh, heck. It's a natural one.
Okay, no, that's all right. I was just seeing what new random personality quirk you were gonna get from dying and coming back. Now it's obsessively collect small sharp stones.
Ooh.
Feels like something you should do anyway, so.
Yeah,
Yes.
that wasn't already part of the the splat.
Apparently not. Gertie, you are
alright.
back from the other side. What's this moment look like?
Where's my violin?
It's in your cell. Upstairs. You have a violin. You still have your instrument. It's under lock and key. But you're back. Now, try not to get yourself killed. This isn't easy. But there's definitely some towns that can do with some not being towns anymore. So, if you want to continue to ply your old trade, we are here to employ you. All right, everything good?
I will require an advance payment of 500 beetles in hand, and then yes, you have yourself a deal.
We have the guy with the beard upstairs still, right?
Yeah, we still have him.
He's my new best friend.
All you can eat.
Old man buffet. And on that incredibly weird note is where we will end this one shot of Mork Borg.
That did not go the way I expected it.
Yeah, me either, bud.
That was fucking awesome!
Yeah, I'm really happy with that.
I did not expect anything that happened this time around.
This
How
is
did
the
you
best
ever
game ever.
towards this?
This
You made a
is
meat bridge.
definitely the weirdest way I've ever killed something in a TTRPG. It was just hurdy-gurdying and shrieking it to death.
I'm trying to figure out what to do because it's like if he can hear you, it does damage.
Wonderful.
And I'm like, he can't. Like, you got to a place that you like should not be able to get to by climbing that tower. I'm like, Fletcher can't get there. Like, how the fuck? He's just gonna. Probably doesn't even know where it's.
Fletcher would have like screamed for the word to destroy it or
Well,
whatever.
like no, I'm just picturing because of the chains and everything previous, like
Uh-huh.
Fletcher trying to American Gladiators his way to the pillar before
ripped-ass
finally
body.
succumbing and just falling into Pinky's open mouth.
I'm kind of wondering, okay, because like one of the other things I randomly rolled for her is maybe she's died and gotten kicked out of hell before because she also has an accursed, never healing wound. So
Oh, nice.
I think maybe she just has like bits of,
Well,
you know, gross from past lives.
the roles on this character told a story
Yeah.
because, like, the other thing that wasn't revealed is everyone heals slower around Aevir. He heals
Oh.
faster, and
Ah.
he sees a guardian angel that has way too many eyes.
So you're like siphoning our
Mm.
life away. Cool.
Yeah, it's fine. I promised it to the plant anyway.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Gertie's like mark from this last one was the melty foot that happened
The
after
melty foot.
failing to use fish jerky as shoes.
The
So-
only room you like didn't hit was on the other side of that scratching
Scrape.
door. Is the jail cells that are full of. Description here is repulsive stench of death and gore, bodies everywhere. It's full of corpses and crazed prisoners that will try to eat you if you go in there. So good call, not doing it. Oh, and the old man, the trick was if all of you sat down at the table with him, he...
I'm
Became
sure,
lucid.
but like, who's gonna
Yeah,
do
I wasn't
that?
gonna do
That's
that.
like Fae
No.
bullshit 101 rules. Don't sit down and eat the enchanted banquet with the catatonic
Oh, there was no
man.
food on the table. There was no food to
Yeah.
eat. It's just if you sit down with him, he will start talking.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, that was.
That's not this group's style.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's written. I'm
Besides,
like,
if
yeah,
I
I'll go with
woke
it.
him back up, he'd want to get the bugs out of his beard, and then I'd have no food, and then I'd be sad and emaciated all over again.
This is
Now
just
I'm
like...
just sad.
This is just classic with the way like Mork Borg adventures tend to be written. Like, he's utterly useless. He serves no purpose at all. If you sit down with him, he becomes lucid sort of again and just starts laughing hysterically and just telling stories to you, and then eventually just gets quiet and goes back into his catatonic state again.
That actually
Serves no
kind of
purpose.
sounds like a good time.
That would have been nice. But that would mean that Goesig saw him as an equal to sit down with.
And the only other downside here to that is that he alerts the guards that are in the next room that you never went
Yeah.
into.
Ah.
There's the other door in that room has guards on the side. Him hysterically laughing will draw them in, but you never went
Oh
in there.
look,
so.
the place with swords was a bad place to enter.
The place with the swords. Yeah, that was the guards' quarters. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was like armory guard room, something like that.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
so
that was a
much
good
fun.
call not going in there. You would have been instantly attacked.
Fantastic.
I actually cut out a couple of the random encounters because there's actually quite a few of them, but just time constraints, I didn't do all of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, there was plenty there.
Because there really should have been one at the end when he went to that room covered in chains. That was supposed to be another random encounter, but half of you already got eaten by a fucking gutworm, so.
And we cleared out most of the dungeon otherwise via hurdy-gurdy.
I know, that was the coolest.
Hurdy-gurdy. Hurdy-gurdy-hurdy.
Weapon of
Also-
mass destruction.
Yeah.
Also, Poltroon getting brought back. Just...
That was like, jeez, Poltroon, buddy.
That was metal, okay?
That was
pure metal.
awesome.
That was where I'm like, I gotta bring in more of the metal attitude right at the right at the end here.
That was full on Metallica moment of the evening. I'm here for it.
You could hear the guitar riff as he just slowly burbles down into the.
It's a guitar chugga chugga go as he goes down, a jempt, if you will, followed by a wheedly wah. Yeah, I'm like, I had to get some kind of fucking metal. There is no God. Everything is a lie.
That was beautiful. That was
Thank you.
absolutely beautiful.
There is no God. There is only the hurdy-gurdy.
There is. This is
I didn't
your
realize
God
we were
now.
gonna call,
It's
like the
coming
most
for
villainous
you.
group ever.
Oh, I mean, the description I think I heard from the creators of Mork Borg was it's a game about Mork Borg is like a game about miserable bastards patrolling a barren landscape or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you're all meant to be terrible people. There's no.
Oh, we
Mhm.
are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For let's see where they are now. Is where's the classes? For all of those out in listener land who don't know like what they just saw, which I don't even know what the fuck I just saw. But the classes of Mork Borg in the original book, at least, there's more they released later, are the Fanged Deserter, which pretty much covers the guards that you guys fought. That's basically
Yeah.
the Fanged Deserter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
recognize
Vicious.
those from your description. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
What does it say? You have 30 or so friends who never let you down. Your teeth.
Yep.
Big fang teeth, dagger-teethed warriors. Gutterborn Scum, which was... Well, no, Gertie, was Gertie Gutterborn Scum, or you were Songbird?
She started out as Gutterborn Scum, and then, because I was made aware, became a sacrilegious songbird.
Yeah.
But she kept the filth. She just got an instrument instead of useless shit.
Yeah, because your Gutterborn Scum would have died insta-kill. Super hard.
Yeah.
Gutterborn Scum. Esoteric Hermit, was that...
No.
No,
Oh,
we
wait, were
didn't
you?
have...
No, I just random rolled.
Oh, you had a random roll one, that's right.
Yeah.
Wretched Royalty, that's Gaysig's.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Very,
cool.
Very wretched.
So
Very
fun.
wretched.
Like, we
Oh,
wouldn't
wow.
have succeeded in that fight if it weren't for Poltroon.
Poltroon
For
saved
Poltroon!
us. I cannot believe that.
I didn't notice that, like, that name is literally in the book. Like,
Yeah, that's,
Poltroon the Court Jester is...
Yeah.
Poltroon, yeah.
While
And like
practically
I-
useless, personally irritating, and an emotional drain, his capering actually makes enemies lose their focus in combat. For the first 2 rounds... Oh, it's only for the first 2 rounds. You and your allies get +2 to
We
attack.
only
You only had 2
Yeah,
rounds.
you only had 2
We
rounds.
only
yeah.
had 2 rounds, and then it was just me and my music machine, as I think Aevir was like.
It's just
After Wretched Royalty is Heretical Priest. No, we didn't have one of those.
Oh.
Nope.
And then Occult Herb Master. You were Brindt was the gambler.
yeah. Brindt was the exalted gambler. I had actually pledged myself to a sentient tree from Graventosk. You shall nourish it with your blood, with every drop of it.
Oh man, I wish we'd done that. That you were gonna hang Poltroon for that. I believe
Yeah.
that was the idea.
Yeah, I was gonna go feed him to the tree because
Oh.
I need all that blood, so that way I
What
don't lose
is
all
it
my
with
blood.
me and people getting fed to trees? Lately, every TTRPG I've played in for like the last 3 days, someone's getting eaten by a tree.
That is so weirdly specific.
That's
It is.
my dream.
I like fluffed my staff as like being a thorn from the tree.
That was
It's
super
so
cool
cool.
too.
Oh, I
Like
love
I
that.
love the descriptions of your fingers like becoming roots. I was just thinking
yeah.
of like if you've ever milk fed a pumpkin. That's exactly what I'm picturing.
What
like
did you
as
just
you're-
say?
I wasn't so much a
Milk feeding.
gambler.
Okay, it's a thing that you do when you're growing fruits or vegetables. You can milk feed a pumpkin. You take a little slice of its vine, put it in a little dish of milk, and it helps the pumpkin grow better to be bigger and more orange because it feasts upon the secretions of the cow.
I have
Love
never
it.
heard of that.
This is a real thing. And so like
Yeah.
when you're describing that, that was exactly what I was picturing. Just like it was
Yeah,
nice.
I was not so much a gambler so much as I was like a gambler that had become this terrible semi-malevolent druid.
Yeah,
almost.
that's yeah.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, you were definitely
Yes.
bad boy druid.
I loved it. It was beautiful. This was
was
And
wild.
no, Aevir is some sort of terrible resurrectionist.
Who, by the way, that's crazy. Like the number of time. One, you can use it. Yeah, it's what, presence plus D4 times
Yeah.
a day. So that's a lot of resurrections you can go slinging around with that fucking thing. And yeah, yours was totally random, right? Yeah, your
Yeah.
everything you got.
What was
yeah.
your consequence for
Everything.
using that?
That there isn't one with the sacred texts.
What? That's bonkers.
It's the dark ones that kill everything that have more consequences.
Mm-hmm. I had
Nice.
one of those, but I didn't get to use it.
The unclean scrolls.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
unclean
I had
scrolls,
number 10, which is
which
death.
is death.
Yeah, that one is pretty hardcore. Yeah.
It just murders people.
Like
Feels
3d10 damage.
It's
I can
just a
divide it with
picture
my
of Gertie's like severed head face.
Oh, where was that? I made you roll an arcane catastrophe, Gertie.
Oh, what was that? When did that happen?
That
It
was
was when you were
earlier.
up on the tower, and I said it would come back to get you later.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, what happened to me? I mean, I
Uh,
died, but
Within D4 days, a vile cocoon heaves from the ground, soon bursting and spawning your exact clone. It is unintelligent and begins to spread mischief and suffering.
oh my god.
There's a
hap-
second Gertie.
No.
Oh, I'm not
Um,
done. I'm not done. This happens every couple of days until the ground is cleansed with holy water or fire. So there are a lot of Gerties running
We have an
around.
army of
It's
Gerties.
an army of Gerties.
No wonder the kingdom fell. It
They
had
can
too
only
many
be
Gerties.
cleansed with flame.
They all have hurdy-gurdies.
I'm just going, okay, so Gertie's the new orcs. Welcome
Yep.
to Warhammer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the mud pits, like Saruman's mud pits below
Yeah.
Orthanc. It's just
Gertie is the
just
Uruk-hai.
Gerties. Who do you serve?
No, they don't serve. They just
They just
they're an
they just do.
environmental effect.
They're an invasive species.
It happens every couple of days. I love that.
This
that is
makes me unbelievably happy, and I
So
don't know
many-
why, because it's so gross.
It's so chaotic.
I wish I had gone back and read that just before we ended, because I would love that to have been the actual closing note of the show. That there's
yeah,
just
the
an
Oh
stinger
army,
my
of
god.
Plopping up out of the ground.
so many Gerties. That's the real ending note of this show, is that there are just a upsetting number of Gerties running around in the world right now.
Oh my god. I'm so happy.
Purify your water, folks.
Purify your water, cleanse it with fire. Oh,
It's the
Lord.
only way.
That was just brutal. All right, so that was stupid fun. A lot
Yes, it was.
of, as so often is the case with everything I GM, just lots of really aggressive tonal shifts throughout. But wonderful. Let us do our outros now. Let us know let people watching know who you are and where you can be found in weeks to come. And I will start with a first time on this channel, and so glad I got to play with you again. Two of you actually. Matt, we'll start with. You're closer to me on the overlay.
Sure, why not? Hey, everybody, I'm Matt, also known as the Killer GM. You can find me on on Twitter at the Killer GM. I write about gaming nerdery, try to do various gaming things when I'm not being a semi-sentient plant man of varying morals. You can find me over on my channel, MattF7, every other Sunday, along with a certain someone running a mask stream called Sunset City, wherein a bunch of teenage heroes are apparently stuck in some form of Arthurian legend. We don't know. It's fantastic. We were off this week, but we will be back on next Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and looking forward to that. And of course, our dear friend Colin plays Major Tom on occasion, and we'll be back next month.
February 21st, I think, is the day.
I believe so. Yes, we'll be back as Major Tom again, and we are very much
I
awaiting
get to
his
put on my
reappearance.
balaclava again, baby. That I
Eat some
keep
delicious sandwiches.
that I keep right here in my desk drawer at all times, just in case. It looks like nothing on camera because it's dark and it's black, but I keep this here all the time, just in case you ever ask me to come back.
It's all scheduling. It all comes back to that pesky scheduling, but we finally nailed it down to get you back. We want you back.
Tom returns.
Hooray! And so yeah, we've got that. Otherwise, schedule's a little hectic right now, working out some new work stuff. But once that's done, I'm hoping to get at least one other game running with folks, because I do so love playing games with all of these lovely people, and would love to get more chances to do so. So yeah, just kind of keep a lookout for that.
Headcanon Major Tom is currently a reviewer for the Michelin Guide. He's just doing restaurant reviews now.
That's fair.
Came back from space, reviews restaurants. It's a nice job.
Make some cash.
And I think also, Flounder, this is your first time streaming on here, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I think first time. I mean, we've played together before, but I think it's the first time actually on the channel.
Definitely the first stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. So what's up, Flounder? Where can we see you, man?
All right. My name's Neil. I'm Flounder the 12. You can find me under that name on Twitter, Discord, pretty much anywhere. I don't have any projects going on right now. Technically, I am writing a board game.
Oh.
That I wrote it all. I'm just waiting on art.
That's dope.
I was drunk and someone's like, you should make a board game about this topic. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then we had a board game in 3 hours. So it just needs to be made.
Like all great success stories, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was New Year's. That was actually New Year's Eve.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Is there like a Kickstarter forthcoming or something?
No, I probably could just print it all for under $50.
No, dope.
But yeah, I'm waiting. Someone's like, I want to do art. I'm like, well, I can write a game and you can make art if you really want to.
Hell yeah.
And then he's like, cool, let's do it. I'm like, okay. I was hoping you say no. And
Now
then I wrote it.
Now we have to do it. Damn it.
Now we actually have to. Yeah, I committed to this. But yeah, that will be coming out. It's about becoming a bodega cat.
Excuse me now?
A bodega cat? You know, bodega is like a...
Yeah, like a corner store. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how some of those have cats?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you know, those are all stray cats. You know, you have to be adopted by the store.
Okay.
How do you become that cat?
That's amazing.
That's what the board game is
It's a
about.
journey unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great cat right there.
That's a good cat.
That's the one I want to be. I want to be that cat in this game.
Yep. So we'll see when that goes down.
Oh man, I await the tabletop simulator version. We will stream the fuck out of Bodega Cat. Also, I could probably make that into like we can reskin that into like a one-pager TTRPG.
It already exists.
It really could.
Oh yeah?
Oh really?
Just for Christmas, I got a book that is just a giant collection of one-pagers.
Oh, is it the 41 by James D'Amato?
It might be,
because I got one too. I just picked up.
But there within, in one of the pages, is you play bodega cats because there are terrors that lurk in the darkness, and the only thing that protects the folks at night are the bodega cats.
Bomb. I think we might have the same book, so we could probably stream this ridiculousness sometime, and I guess I know who's going to be in that game now.
It feels like a one-shot waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh, it is a one-pager, one-shot thing, but it's very much in the vein, sort of like Masks, but each of the bodega cats has their own sort of feline-esque powers to fight the darkness.
Dig it.
Oh, it's the Myth Kits.
The Myth Kits. Oh, bless. Oh, the cat spin-off of Sunset City.
We had that cover a while back, so that's why.
Love it. All right, Anna. Hi.
Hi. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk about my projects, right? Yes.
You've got a few.
Yes, I do. Let me see if I can actually get all of them out in order and correctly. If I don't, you can find them by following me on Twitter at Nymeria941, where everything is written down. You can also see me back on this channel tomorrow for the premiere of our vignettes for Estate. That is tomorrow, yes.
That actually, I was gonna move things around. I think what I'm actually gonna do is air those right before our first episode as a lead-in to our do it all I thought it made more sense to me instead of doing it standalone. Do it like a big premiere evening where we'll air that and then go right into our first episode.
Well, then you cannot find me here tomorrow, for I will have crawled back into the hole whence I came.
But on the 25th,
in general,
on the 25th,
yes, you're
the
gonna be
following
able to
Monday,
find
yes.
me. yeah, here Monday nights playing in a game of Estate. I'm going to be revisiting one of my favorite, like unexpected favorite characters to play from last year, the Ghost Fighter Jane Card. That's going to be awesome. And then on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern over on Valdriant's channel, I'm going to be playing Lancer for the first time ever with
Fucking
Pope.
mechs.
We're going to hop in mechs and punch fascists in the face, and it's going to be great. And then a little bit later on Fridays, I play in a Zweihander game called Beyond the Twilight Path. You've probably seen the GM Tom play on this channel or other places before, and it's described as dark fantasy fae bullshit. That's about exactly what we did for 3 hours during the premiere on Friday. So that's going to be on Critical Misses at 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Other than that, yeah, I think that's about it. My pinned tweet, oh yeah, that's important, is a casting call for Parslings, which is a new show that is going to be premiering on the new season of Weave the Tale, formerly Encounter Roleplay. So if you like very roleplay heavy storytelling games with non-traditional game mechanics and fun parasites that help you do like wordplay living inside of your brain, check out that game.
That's all I've ever
I'll
wanted.
be GMing it. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
If I forgot something, I'm sure I'll bolt upright at 2 o'clock in the morning and go, and another thing.
And
but
a cold
that is not-
sweat.
Yes. Ugh. Clammy sweat too. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yep.
All right. And last but never least, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on Twitter, Pope World Build on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. You get to actually see me a bit now that the seasons and a bunch of channels are starting. As already been mentioned, I am here for your weekend. As we've got, Masks, Shades of Tartarus over on Valdrian's channel. And Masks Sunset City over on Matev 7's every other Sunday. And then on Wednesday nights, 8:30 Eastern, over on Penny for a Tale, I will be running a short and terrible story set in a Song of Ice and Fire called Brotherhood of Shadows, because somebody thought it was a good idea to have me run a story in the north beyond the wall. So if you
Imagine why you want to run that.
So if you would like to see me just torment 4 individuals for 6 to 10 episodes, tune in. They decided to be over on Eastwatch. That means water. That was the worst choice they could have ever have made. So there's that. But I also want to implore you all, there's tons of signups for a bunch of channels as a bunch of folks are getting ready to start their seasons. So check out a bunch of different places as folks are launching programs right now. You've got signups over on Weave the Tale. I know there's projects coming down the tube and premieres up and coming for places like Other Doc. Critical Misses just launched their stuff. So there's a ton of stuff going on. If you're looking to get involved or looking to hop onto a story, you've got chances. And thank you all for being here this evening. You're as much part of the story as we are. You make this happen, because without an audience, there is no performance. So thank you all. Whether you are watching live, VOD, YouTube, you make this happen. Thank you. Take care of yourselves this year. Hopefully things will get better, and see you soon.
Yeah. Trying to let that optimism be infectious. Doing my best.
Just let it be like Gertie. Every couple of days, out of the ground. Oh, look, another one.
Another
Joy!
Hi, I'm Colin. This is my channel. You've been watching it. This was Mork Borg. This is a game I love, and I'm definitely going to play again. Really, really glad I bought this one. Next week, according to my schedule... actually, shit, let me check. I didn't have my schedule open because I had to reboot my computer so many damn times. No, next week is not Quest. Quest is going to be in February. Next week is Werewolf. Werewolf Savage Age. Talked to the developer a while back. I have a week to figure out how to play that game. That one's actually not yet fully cast, so I'm going to be putting out a little bit of a blast to see if we can fill that one up, because that game is not full yet. And then the week after that is going to be Aegon, the Greek mythology TTRPG I've been dying to try, by John Harper, who also made Blades in the Dark. I'm a huge fan of his work. This is his, I believe, as far as I know, his most recent game. Just came out 2020. Super looking forward to trying that. After Aegon, we're going to have a game of Masks on February 7th. That's all cast up. That has a killer group of people in it. And then the week after that is going to be Draku running the Pokemon one-shot that I am so looking forward to. And then the week after that is February 21st, where I will be over on Matt's channel playing Masks, so we will not have One Shot Sunday in its usual time slot. We're going to be doing it earlier in the day. I'm doubling up that day, because that day is going to be a very special game. We're going to be playing Quietus, which is the first game we ever played on One Shot Sunday. But this one's different, because it's going to be run by Ollie Jeffrey, the creator of Quietus. He's agreed to come on and run a game for us, which is dope. So excited. Ollie's a very, very nice guy. We've been talking a lot on Twitter. And he's also given me a crack at playing his new game he's coming out with right now, called Meat Punks, that he described to me as, let me see if I can find, I can't do it better than he said it, so let me just see. The exact way he put it was, it is a powered by the apocalypse game about queer anti-fascists making their way through a weird planet that's actually the corpse of a dead god, fighting cryptids, forest gods, and Nazis and giant robots made out of meat. I mean, come on!
Did you see the show tonight? Did you enjoy the show tonight?
You will like this.
Yeah.
I mean, he had me at queer anti-fascists beating up Nazis, but I'll take all the other shit in there too. Absolutely.
I mean, fighting across the corpse of a dead god. I mean,
Oh, dude, savage. So here for it. So there's good stuff coming up. That'll be the Sunset City week, and then after that, the week after that, February 28th, is Quest, which we had to reschedule. And then after that's going to be Blades in the Dark, and then we're going to play... Oh, I'm excited about this one, Matt. I think you'd be down for this, too. That's the one. We're playing D&D 4th Edition, baby. I'm bringing it back.
Oh, yeah, I
know
forgot.
me. You know my heart.
I'm bringing it
sings for
back.
4th edition.
I am on a mission to rehabilitate 4th Edition.
I will join you in this quest, my friend.
March 14th, baby. So, Pope, I believe you're going to be in that one. I think I got you for that. I was particularly prioritizing people who've never played it, because I'm trying to rehabilitate here.
Never sat down to a table of 4th edition in my life, so this is going to be interesting.
You will learn much, my friend.
It good. So there's a hell of a lot of stuff coming up on One Shot Sunday. Of course, the other thing that we do here regularly on the channel is GM Postmortem, our chat show every other Friday. We have some excellent guests coming up. This Friday, the 22nd, our guest is going to be Daniel Fox, the creator of Zweihander. We are going to have a lovely chat with him. And then 2 weeks after that, here's me geeking out. Our guest is going to be Michael Sands, the creator of Monster of the Week, which is my favorite game ever. So great stuff coming up, and I don't think we have anyone for the one after that just yet, so working on getting more guests, but all that's coming up. And then of course next week we begin on the 25th. We begin Estate, our recurring series that's going to be every Monday night at 7 o'clock right here on this channel. Anna is in it, I'm in it, Bulb is GM in it, we got Savvy Seaworth, we got Wally. It's the best. It was our favorite. It's fair to say, I think it was our favorite one-shot we've run so far. We loved it so much that we had to make it into a show. So it's going to be a show coming up here. That's probably going to run 4 to 6 weeks, which means it's probably going to run for 6 weeks. Let's just be real. Other than that, coming up on Weave the Tale, formerly Encounter Roleplay, I'm going to be running a Black Void game that's going to be starting Wednesday, February 17th, running Under Nebulous Skies. My boy Wally is in that, and waiting to find out who else is in it. That's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to that. I love Black Void. It's such a great game. So that is it for this evening. This was fucking weird and exactly what I was hoping for, and brutal. all caps lock, all day, baby. And I'm trying to think what the proper send-off is here. You know, the tagline here is always something is a free action. I mean, I think death is a free action. Might be. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, until.
You're free to die.
Always free to die. Until next time, folks, it's been lovely. Thank you all for being here. And remember that dying is a free action. Good
Yeah.
night,
Bye.
everybody.
Hi, everyone.